5, 6, 7, 8,
5, 6,
4,
3.
3, 2, 1.
All right, we're live.
3, 2, 1 countdown.
3, 2, 1. We are.
Oh, the lights are on. I had to look for a second to see if the lights were on.
3, 2, 1. Oh, and there's the echo.
Had to
Just
see if
testing.
the lights
Just had to every time we don't test it, we always get notes in the chat room that
There's no
our
audio.
sound isn't yet. The audio isn't on. So, welcome everyone to an all-new Verbal Ejaculation on June the 24th, 2012. All three of us are here, despite having a very busy weekend. We all made it. Dan, you got the nice little tan line going on.
Well, yeah, I had a blue camouflage headband, so I kind of got this like blue streak. I didn't wear the outfit. I was gonna wear the outfit tonight, but it was kind of like I still may find some more ticks on me. I just jumped in the shower really quick because I've been covered by ticks.
Yeah.
I didn't want to like just come right, but Matt kind of knew the outfit because he didn't see the outfit, but I saw Matt last week, and when I had gotten the outfit, but my nephew, you know,
Do we have pictures?
knowing this, I'm sure they're going to post them tonight. They'll probably be, and maybe I'll find a way to put them up on one of the sites. But the Sam has the same sense of humor as I do, and he knows that I'll pretty much do anything, right?
Yeah.
I'm not ashamed.
You've never
I'm
been
not afraid.
shy about anything.
I'm not, shy. Like when we had our little company outing Friday night, people were warning like, well, you better not be as crazy, and you better not be drinking. You better not, because last time we heard you were very drunk and unruly, and I'm like, no, I wasn't drunk.
Yeah.
Like I don't need to be drunk. I don't need to be drunk. I don't need to be drunk to be like to have a good time. It was like, I can have a good time and not be drunk, not have any. And Sam wanted me to kind of make an ass of myself or a spectacle because we're playing airsoft. It's not like we're going out and saving the world. We're shooting a bunch of people with little plastic BBs. If anybody doesn't know what airsoft is, so
you're saving the BB world.
We're killing the environment by putting little plastic BBs all over the environment.
Makes sense.
So and again, like I kind of alluded last week that he was having kind of a tough weekend. I mean, like because my brother's been going through a lot of stuff and there's been a lot of stress with my family. So him and I both needed kind of comic relief. So we were in Hot Topic last weekend at the mall
because you're both homosexuals.
Because we're gothic emo homosexuals,
oh,
right?
Got
so it's different. We're emo homosexuals, and we were looking at the skinny jeans department because he buys skinny jeans because he can,
yes.
He's got the physique.
He can wear them
very
jeans. Well.
Yes, and
Hi.
He happened to have there happened to be a pair of regular style camouflage skinny jeans and a pair of bright blue skinny jeans that happen to be in my size. Now, first off, who the fuck is making skinny jeans in my size is what I'd like to know. Who makes, that just kind of bothers me that they actually have a skinny jean. Like the word skinny jean and my size should not be in the same sentence.
You're spelled.
So why does Hot Topic even have, and the brand of skinny jean is called Rude. But it's like, am I at that cusp where I'm like, okay, so I'm not obese, I guess, because I can buy skinny jeans because they have them in my size? Is that what they're telling me?
Is it called rude because you'd insult people while walking by?
Yes, I would. They look at me and go, wow, he looks like a big blue sausage. But the, so Sam kept saying to me, you got to buy these. They were on clearance for like $10. He's like, you got to buy these. And I'm like, I'm not going to make that much of an ass of myself because there's people that go to this airsoft that take it seriously. And I'm like, but the thing was, though, I actually said to Sam, I said, you know why I don't want to buy these pants? Because I will not be able to find a coordinating top. Who is going to have a blue camouflage top?
I could be your top. Oh.
But, yes, yeah, not that type of top. But
they look really gay.
But also the other thing that's going through the back of my mind is I want a good nude outfit, though, right? I've been looking for a good nude outfit, and he'd wear something like that, right? So I was kind of like, well, maybe. And then I'm like, no, I'm not going to get these. Well, he gets the pair that he's going to buy. We get up to the counter. It just so happens Hot Topic was doing their buy one, get one half off. So he took that as a sign of fate because the girl says, oh, by the way, it's buy one, get one 50% off. Is there anything else you want in the store? And he looks at me and he's like, we're buying you those camouflage jeans. You're wearing them to airsoft next week. And we're going to get you like a top. You're going to go all in this blue. Because we play out in these, like, this tree farm. It's all green terrain. I stuck out like a very like Smurf basically.
Yeah.
I was and I looked like I was in a bad.
Did you hear a lot of that? There he is. Get him.
Yeah.
Is that what you heard?
It was funny too because I looked like, if you ever remember that horrible Jean-Claude Van Damme movie Street Fighter. Like he wears this type of camouflage, that blue camouflage. Like all the video
Julia's
game,
finest
yes,
moments,
yeah.
though.
All the video game, like DOA, the video game movie. They also have a guy that wears this blue camouflage. Like you never really see it. Like I don't know which military had blue camouflage. Maybe like icy terrain, but even that, it's not even a natural blue. So he did. He bought them for me and said, kind of like many years ago when I bought him the "My Boyfriend Runs in a Pack" T-shirt, and I made him wear that on Thanksgiving. This was kind of his revenge. Because I made him wear a girl's Twilight T-shirt for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
This was his way of saying, you know what? Fuck you. You're wearing blue camouflage skinny jeans.
He remembers. He remembers.
No, but because we both have the same sense of humor. So he's like, if I'm able to go walk around like Concord, New Hampshire, shopping on Thanksgiving wearing a "My Boyfriend Runs in a Pack," and he got a lot of shit from his parents when he came home with that T-shirt because they felt he was giving the wrong message, and it was like, well, you know,
What message could that be?
well, the message was there's no real such thing as werewolves. So I mean, his boyfriend really didn't run in a pack,
Oh,
but
got it.
you know, but it just and I think the T-shirt got destroyed because we haven't found this T-shirt again, but so he
Lost in the
basically
laundry.
one of those like
Yeah, t-shirt burning.
yeah, the T-shirt.
Options, you know.
Yeah, but so he ended up having me wear these, and he knew I'd wear them. And I was like, of course I'll wear these. So he spent like a good half of the day trying to find a matching blue top, and I couldn't get like a matching camouflage top for it, so I ended up getting just like a blue T-shirt and black Under Armour underneath, just to kind of look at least. So we show up at the airsoft, and I kind of did a sneak preview at the church today because I changed at the church. So I come out with like my sidearm attached to me, dressed up like I belong at like a police force, like, you know, like maybe a P-Town police force like outfit, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have been at one of the
seen
pride
those uniforms,
parades. Yeah.
Your shorts had to come up to here,
You
though.
know, like, you know, and I walk into the church and everybody's kind of looking at me like, okay, what's going to do? What are you doing today with that outfit? And we get to the airsoft. And everybody that was on our squad, because we have squads now, and everybody that was, and Sam's kind of like the unofficial squad leader, but everybody that was kind of on our squad, you know, we were all like, we're having fun with the way I was dressed. But people were showing up, and they were all like, they were taking what I was wearing seriously. Like, do you really think you're going to fit in? And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I was acting like I was colorblind.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you mean? I went to the store. The guy at the store told me these are perfect for a forest terrain. Did they mess with me because I'm colorblind? And people were just looking at me, and I was keeping this so deadpan, so straight-laced, and they were like, who did that? Who did that? You know, stuff like that. Like,
Tell me who hurt you.
who hurt you? We'll go find him.
Do you need an
But it
adult?
was just, but people were kind of taking it seriously. Like, you know, you really are going to stick out. Like, and I'm like, no shit. We're playing airsoft. I'm trying to be funny.
When you put on the bright orange cap.
Well, I was trying to find a red beret. I was asking people if anybody had a red beret or something.
That's
You know?
Or a raspberry beret.
Yeah, a big
Raspberry
raspberry
beret,
beret. You know, I would have came in on the purple motorcycle. It would have been like, but it was just so funny because people were. I'm like, guys, we're out here just shooting each other with little pellets. Let's not take this seriously. I go, yeah, people could see me bobbing up and down in my little blue outfit in the green trees. But I mean, it wasn't, you know, it was a distraction because it was kind of like, hey, I'm over here, while my team would go over and shoot them from the other side. But it was just having fun and just
You
having
were the decoy.
You know, kind of like on Friday night where I went out and, you know, I had a claw and I was putting the claw in front of people.
Yeah, the foam claw at the
Foam
Fisher
claw,
Cats game.
going, go for it, guys!
It's
Like,
a tradition.
I became like a super fan because everybody was saying, you know, like, you know, oh, you know, don't do anything. And I happened to be in front of one of the VPs and one of the people that's kind of a, but, you know, like,
Which one?
so,
Hi! In case they're watching.
Chris Rose. But, you know, like,
I am. I really am. I mean,
Chris Rose.
oh, okay. We'll talk. I'm sorry, go on.
Yeah.
But just remind me we have to talk about something at the game.
But they always, you know, they always accuse me of being, oh, you know, he's going to be obnoxious, and I was kind of threatening. So I get there, and I had my, like, half of my dress clothes on, because I had my purple shirt from work, and I put some shorts on. I immediately go to the gift shop, and I'm like, I got to be super fan. I got to get the Fisher Cat T-shirt on. I got to get the foam claw, you know. So I get back in my seat, and the foam claw was in a little bag, and I sit down, and I'm like, you know, sitting there with my T-shirt, and everybody didn't really notice at first. And they're like, did you change your shirt? And I'm like, I did. Changed my shirt. And then I take out the claw, and I'm like, let's go, Fisher Cats! I'm like sitting there with the claw in front of everybody. The game hadn't even started yet, I don't think. I think it was still like the preliminary, and I'm all like, all right, Cats!
Go Cats!
Go Cats! And then I was like which one's the cats? Are they in the red or the blue?
I couldn't tell either.
I was like, my claw's red and blue. The uniforms are red and blue. I don't know who's who.
I know the home dugout is the one to my right, and I was like, but they're also like I saw some kids walking around with Fisher cats over by the visitors, and I could not figure it out for the life of me. And I was like, this is how much I enjoy sports.
Yeah.
But I did have people laughing because I was yelling about the dog. I kept on yelling about because they have a dog that's like a bat boy dog.
It retrieves
Like this
bats,
dog that gets the bats. So I kept yelling out about the dog, going, "That dog's my best friend. That dog's the reason I'm here. That dog." I was like just screaming, and I knew the people behind me were just like, "We need to fire this fucking prick.
Yeah.
Why is this guy still in the company?" It's like, really. And he hasn't had anything to drink yet. Really, he's had one beer. Like, really.
Who's the obnoxious fan?
Yeah,
Dan is.
yeah. No, but I ended up not being I did not be. I wasn't the crazy one though. There was somebody next to me that had a little bit too much that was being very loud and obnoxious. We won't
Really?
name names or anything.
Somebody from
We won't. I'm sure on Monday somebody will make mention to that person. I'm
something
sure
I
that
did.
person will be singled out.
Yeah,
But.
something I did Friday will probably be singled out as well by my team. Yeah. Before we get to that, if you are tuning in and you want to chime in on Dan's navy or a natural blue
okay.
uniform,
Now I'm upset because a picture just got posted, but it's black and white, so you can't even see the blue camel. You can see how tight it is.
Wow, yeah.
And you can
well, we're gonna have to see a
you can
picture
see how
of
tight
this
it
in
is, but it's
color,
not.
or
It's
we'll
not
have
in
to
color
have-
though.
We'll have to have Ted Turner colorize that.
Like I don't know why.
That looks like something out of a 1970s film.
I don't know why my nephew Dave posted a black and white version, but
Isn't that what Patty Hearst was wearing at one point when she succumbed to her captors? So yeah, if you want to chime in on Dan's unnatural blue camouflage outfit or the beret.
oh, here it is. There's the color version. I mean, that is.
Oh, that is priceless.
That
That
is
is absolutely priceless.
We have to.
That is from
Wow.
the Glenn R.J. Willett wardrobe.
I think
Wow.
Glenn would be wearing something like that. Right?
Have you seen what our engineer is wearing tonight?
I saw those legs.
Okay.
I saw
Did you
those
see the
legs.
top?
But I didn't really
Speaking
notice
of
the
Nuge.
top.
All right, so if you want to chime in, join us in the chat room. We're on Ustream and IPMNation.com and QCEnews.com.
But everybody else is wearing
Hopefully-
green camouflage in that
yeah.
picture. So that,
Yeah, green. They're all
I don't
wearing
really
green and
stick
black.
out. That's the general right
Yep.
there. That is the general.
So join us in the chat room. You could give us a call tonight at 978-702-9952, 978-702-9952. So yeah, Fisher Cats.
The general's chicken. That's what we should call it.
The it was about the third inning that the foul ball went over the net,
And
and
hit the baby? You're talking about that issue?
she had to have been
The
at
shield?
least 8 or 9.
What, the girl that got hit? That
Yeah,
they had
that
the
got beamed.
paramedics and everybody?
Yes, there was
Oh, really?
EMTs that came, a little girl, because what they have is behind home plate. They
Would
have
you
the
say she was
net,
that old? I thought she was like 5.
but they didn't have a top net for the
Yeah.
ball to roll back down, so it just goes right over the net, and it hit a girl.
Yeah.
Daddy wasn't really paying attention.
Daddy was not paying attention.
No. Mommy looked very upset.
Yeah.
But
I gave it a good, I'd say even a great 2 minutes, while the EMTs were coming and checking on the girl, before I started pissing myself laughing.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Because it was whack.
Oh, really?
And just tears.
were people upset in your area for that?
And there were fathers and mothers around this poor girl who was watching the foul ball and trying to catch it, and her parents were sitting next to her just eating.
Oh, really?
And I started laughing, and I'm sitting there at the end seat. So everybody around me, not just my team members and the people I work with, but pretty much everybody, because they were all looking to see the girl. All you see in my seat is just me,
Oh, really?
the shoulders going up and giggling like an asshole. So yeah,
Wow.
I had my team member Sam, who was sitting behind me, who has a newborn. So she had the newborn,
Sitting her little pampoose or whatever
and
you call those
her
things.
3 or 4 year old with her,
Yeah.
and she just looked and she's like, Christopher. and as soon as I realized people were getting mad at me,
Yeah.
instinctively I started laughing even harder.
Yeah.
I was like, this is funnier now, because
Yeah.
hey, clearly the girl's all right. I think they took her
Yeah.
home after the ball beamed her
Well,
on the
do you
head.
think in that type of situation, do you think they're worried about lawsuits?
Oh,
Or do they-
absolutely.
or do they put it at that person's fault? Because they really were. Everybody saw that ball coming. But
Except the parents that were
paying
sitting
attention.
around her.
And it almost from what I saw at the angle, I could have swore the father used the daughter as a shield. That's what I saw from the. It really did. It because he had the daughter, and it was almost like he was like, "Shit, a ball's coming."
Yeah.
It was like it really
I don't
was.
want it to hit me.
It really was. And our little section, like you could hear like people in the section going, those people are getting divorced. Mommy ain't too happy about that. And I made a joke after because I'm saying, well, they brought the paramedic and it looks like a divorce attorney behind them too because it's looking like and they're now and I'm like, oh, now they're moving to the box seat VIP section. You know, they're going up in one of those air conditioned seats now.
I thought they went home
because the Fisher Cats don't want Mommy and Daddy to sue over this welt on little,
I
Sally
wouldn't
Ann's.
think you can. I mean,
You can I think
but you're
anybody
at a
can
ball
sue for
game.
Well, I was
anything.
gonna say, don't
you
you
should
kind
know
of-
you have a hazard there.
don't you kind of accept the risk?
I think you
if
should.
Go
I don't
to a
think
ball
you
game
Absolutely.
I mean, that's a free thing that no one can control.
Just like a hockey game, the puck does go over the glass
Yeah,
every
I
once
mean,
in a while.
that's-
You got to take that
I
responsibility when
think
you go
that's
see
just
it.
kind of an implied risk that you accept.
Yep.
It should be.
That the odds are 1 in a million, but it could happen.
That the ball's gonna hit your daughter.
Yeah.
Like,
mean,
you
it's-
know, that daughter could have a chance of getting balls to the chin or balls to the head or balls to the face and anybody in that section. And there was people getting beamed and people getting and I mean the thing is you're more than apt to get hit in that section where you sit anyway. So don't sit there. You know what I mean? Like if you're worried you're gonna get beamed in the head, go pick a different seat. You know, why do they charge the most money for those seats? Those are like the prime seats, but they're also the dangerous seats.
Those
So
are the
you
dead
know,
Well,
seats.
part of the thrill of sitting there.
is that what it is?
The
No, but I
danger.
can understand. You're at a NASCAR race, you could actually die because a car could fly up and crush you.
That's exciting, the
But
danger.
those are cheap
And
seats.
didn't that happen in a
Yeah.
Final Destination?
But I'm saying,
that the
but I'm
tire-
saying those seats are cheap though, because you
Right.
pay more money the higher up you go at the NASCAR race, because you get the view of the whole, like, you know, the actual whole racetrack. But at the baseball game, the closer you are to to Deadly Central, there you're paying a higher premium. So where they were sitting, those are actually pretty expensive seats.
Right.
So it's like, you know, shouldn't it be the other way around? Shouldn't it be like the safe section should be the more expensive section because you're paying a premium?
No, I agree with
Like,
Matt.
you know.
It's the excitement.
It's the excitement of getting
Yes.
balls to the face.
Yeah.
The excitement and the
Like,
fear.
that's the
Balls to
excitement.
the chin.
Balls to the chin.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that girl was looking forward to a Roman helmet that night, so that was what it was.
Wow. And how old is
Wait,
she?
wait.
Oh, balls.
If for our viewers who may not be familiar, what is a Roman helmet?
Well, that's balls on the head, right? You get the balls on the head.
Got it. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you saying like you didn't know, or are you saying was that your way of covering up? You didn't know
no,
what it was?
I didn't know.
And you're
I didn't know what it
I
was.
didn't-
I think I've heard
I didn't know, to be honest.
other
No.
terms for the balls.
I learned
on
about
the
it at
head.
Bike Week 09. I went to Bike Week 09, and they taught me, and they showed me. And they
Teabagging is pretty much the
Did they eat a
similar,
5-year-old
except
girl?
it's your
They, no,
face.
they did it to me. I actually went to Bike Week 09 because I showed up with my Diamondback mountain bike and my Livestrong T-shirt, and I showed up saying I'm here for Bike Week, guys. And I had really biking shorts on and everything, and I know these ruffians, these hooligans.
Ruffians.
They took
How
me
dare
aside and they said, we're going to show you a Roman helmet. And I'm like, oh, I like the Romans. I liked Spartacus, right? And they brought me into another room and they
Do
showed
you
me a
also
Roman
like Greek
helmet.
wrestling?
Yeah, it's like,
Wow.
I love Kirk Douglas, and they did. They put
Is
me on.
it me or is this as distracting to you as it is to me?
No, I don't really.
What, the big
notice.
stripe? The
No,
big stripe
not
up here?
really.
Do I have to put the hairline down because it is white right here?
It is.
Yeah,
it
it
is.
is.
Because part of that outfit, as you can see, I have a because our colors ended up being this really the blue camouflage colors because each squad had we had to identify ourselves so we wouldn't shoot each other. Because it's not like we know our teammates or anything. Like we can't identify. Oh, there's my nephew there. I don't want to shoot him. Oh, he's got my color on.
Well, in
so.
the fog of war,
That's true.
accidents happen.
That's true. There is friendly
Is
fire.
this on your page or where?
Well, I'm probably tagged by it on my personal page if they've tagged me because I've been tagged in it, so it should be on my page.
I don't see it.
Because I got an email saying Dave added photos of me.
Hmm.
Should be right there because there's a that's not
That's
not,
you.
that's
looking
me. That's me looking.
thoughtful.
That's me
And
having
wearing
a
that
burger.
shirt.
That's me having a burger. Because I'm promoting the Spider-Man. That's what I'm promoting with this
Spider-Man.
shirt. The Spider-Man.
John Spiderman.
I'm promoting Hedrick von Spider. Now that was the first Airsoft picture there. That was the first team. That's when I actually wore real camouflage.
Yeah.
But the
Oh yeah, look at the commando there.
Wow.
that's
Wow.
that was the first match. But he should have put up
Where's
the
my future husband?
future husband should be right behind me.
There he is.
There
I see him.
There he is. And we mentioned that today because I kept saying, I got to leave, guys, because they go longer, and I go, I got to leave, and I'm like, I got the show to do. And they kept thinking I meant like I had to get home to watch something on TV.
Oh.
So that was the other thing too. It's like I got the show to do tonight, guys. So some of the people were like, "What show do you need to watch? It's so important. Can't you just record it?" And I'm like, "No. We do a show.
We do a show.
Like where have you been? Okay, it's like I do a show. All right, what's come on, verbal ejaculation." And then when I started saying that to people, a lot of people were like, "Wait a minute, you do a show called Verbal Ejaculation? Isn't your brother a minister?" And I'm like, "Yeah, ministers ejaculate. What does that have to do with anything?"
That's true.
That is true.
He has 2 kids.
Yeah.
He ejaculated at least twice.
He ejaculated at least twice.
Yeah,
Priests do it too.
Priests
Yes.
ejaculate.
Yeah.
Although the
Jerry
people that they're
Sandusky
with typically are
ejaculated,
too
right?
young to ejaculate,
Right.
but
But-
the priests ejaculate.
No, but it's just, and they were like, with a name like that, wow, I'm surprised. And I'm like, well, just because my brother's a minister doesn't mean I can't have a
Show
show called Verbal Ejaculation, and I can't say fuck. Oh my God, did I just do a sin?
I hate gays and bisexuals, and yet I hang out with Glenn doing his show
I
on Friday
know,
nights.
wow. You hate the gays and
We're
the
gonna call him the
bisexuals.
Vest tonight.
The vest? Is he wearing a vest? I didn't even notice he had a vest on.
Glenn,
Glenn, you have a vest? I didn't notice the vest.
I don't wear a vest.
What do you got on?
Shirt.
Well, come out here and debut your
It's
outfit.
It's not.
Come on, guys. It's a black shirt with short
It's-
sleeves.
it's
It's what?
Summer outside.
It's-
That's a vest?
It's not technical.
Wait a minute, what is that? Come here, Tony Soprano is here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Tony Soprano is on this show. Why? You
going
wouldn't
out
even
for
come out to the
Chippendales.
camera. Wait a minute. You need like a white bow tie with that. You do. You need to have like a whole bunch of you need a tray of the foot long, the foot long hot dog rolls, and just kind of have it near your waist, and kind of be like, "Who ordered the foot long?" What movie
Hey,
was that? Was it
boys.
Bachelor Party? That they go to the strip club and they have that. They have the stripper has that shirt and he walks up.
Maybe
and
it
he's
is
like,
Bachelor
yeah, and
Party,
he's like,
yeah.
"Who ordered the foot long?" And they're at the strip club. I'm saying that's the outfit. He got the actual
I'm
outfit.
like,
from
it's either that or Mr. Mom, but yeah, I
Mr.
think-
Mom.
he goes to a strip club with the women.
He does. He
Yeah.
doesn't. Yeah. Wow.
But no, they were astronauts. They were astronauts strippers.
what kind of movies have strippers in it? That's outrageous.
The best kind, like
That's-
Hangover Part 2, where it's strippers where they're chicks with dicks.
Yes. There was strippers in Rock of Ages. There was strippers in that movie.
Was it Catherine Zeta-Jones?
She was not a stripper. No, she wasn't. She was the tipper.
I'm teasing you, but I got the farmer tan going on right now too. This is what happens when you're stuck in traffic
Yeah.
and you forgot to
Well, see, I
apply
had my arms
sunscreen.
covered, so I don't have my arms aren't.
See, I thought I'd be safe by driving, but apparently not.
No.
So Rock of Ages.
Rock of
Am I
Ages.
to understand you went to see this recently?
I went to see Rock of Ages because I was talking about it last week that the inner Broadway show, Broadway play lover in me wanted to go see Rock of Ages, and the
By
other
that he means me.
and the inner, the
Yeah.
inner hair
I'm his
metal
inner
fan,
man.
the inner hair metal fan wanted to go see it as well. And the thing that baffled me,
Other than the fact that you went to see Rock of Ages.
it's funny too because this is okay. Even the girl at the movie theater, when I showed up at the movie theater, I don't even think she wanted me to see Rock of Ages because I go to the counter, and I'm like, "Can I get a ticket for Rock of Ages?" She gives me a ticket.
Why did you say it that way to her?
I'm doing this to kind of I enunciated what I'm seeing. I didn't slur my speech and go like that.
Right.
I'm just saying. I said, "Can I get a ticket for Rock of Ages?" She gives me my ticket. I'm not paying any attention. Theater 12. So I'm like, okay. I'm waiting in line to get like a drink. The line's too long. The movie's starting in like 5 minutes. I don't want to miss trailers because I love trailers.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people.
Personally,
I
one of the
wanna
best
be-
parts of the.
I want to be in a movie theater to see the trailers. One thing I hate about the movie theater now is all the commercials, though.
Yes.
Like I don't want to see, and before this movie, they were showing ads for the new Russell Brand TV show on FX, probably because he's in the movie.
Yeah.
But they were also showing other FX ads.
Oh, see, I went to go see Dark Shadows, and they showed a commercial for that
Did they?
Russell Brand.
And the other thing that gets me bothered, what is the thing they tell you to do when you get into a movie theater now? They tell you to shut off your cell phone.
Yeah.
This movie theater has an interactive thing at the beginning where they want you to text message
Yeah.
trivia answers and like all this stuff about turn on your cell phones and
Right.
answer this. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, you sons of bitches. You're telling me for years now, since cell phones have become prevalent, to turn the fucking cell phone off. So before I entered the theater, this thing was off. I had it off.
Right.
So then I go in, I sit down, and they're telling me I can win prizes and money. So by the time I get this damn thing back on, the movie's starting. And I'm like, wait a minute, they're telling me to turn the phone on now? Next, they're going to tell me to go ahead and leave my trash in the theater.
You know why they do that? To fuck with you.
Just
That's
to
what they
fuck
do.
with you.
Yeah.
They fuck
But
you
the
in the
next
theater. They fuck
They
you
do.
out of the theater.
The next movie I go to, they're going to sit there and say, you know what? We actually hire people to clean the theater. So you don't need to, you don't need to pick your trash up
No,
and throw it in the
you really
receptacle. We actually send it. And when I'm the only one watching the end credits, a girl came up and started sweeping and picking up the trash. And I'm like, wait a minute. They just had 20 minutes at the beginning of the theater telling me to throw my trash away.
Well, it's because no one actually does it.
Who is this girl?
Yeah.
So you can talk to Matt in the chat room. He used to work at the movie theater as well.
Is Matt in the chat room? I
Matt
didn't
is
see
in the
Matt
chat room. We haven't
before.
seen him in a long time.
Well, we never
He was,
see
in,
him.
he was in Cooperstown this weekend.
That's not true that we never see him.
We
He
never
came
see
here
him.
once.
He did.
Did he come here once? Well,
Yes.
was I here?
He came with me a couple of times.
Did he?
Oh,
A couple of
my.
times? Did he come?
TMI.
Oh, I remember the movie theater well, he says. All right, so yes, you got that out of your system.
But anyway, no, I just that irks me.
Yeah. Oh, no.
When did the interactive?
At the
use
same
your
time,
cell
they
phone?
start putting in actual fucking Pepsi commercials at the same time.
Because it's like they've been telling us, turn your fucking cell phones off. So you know you're gonna have that one asshole
Yeah.
who's still playing the fucking game,
Right.
even during the movie, going, well, I gotta answer George Clooney.
George Clooney. It was
I
George
gotta
Clooney.
get my free, I gotta get my free popcorn next time I come in here. So you got that douchebag behind you with the fucking glowing light,
Yeah.
and you're trying to watch the 3D. Not that Rock of Ages was 3D, but you're trying to watch 3D, and you got this fucking prick behind you with like this glowing, and of course,
Look,
this,
I'm sorry, I had to go on Grindr.
and these fucking phones are bigger now. God damn it!
Yeah,
So
they are. Brighter screens.
the guy behind me had a 9-inch screen sitting there fucking with his phone.
That's an iPad now. That's
Yeah. Well, was he bringing an iPad in the movie theater?
He was using it as his phone.
Why?
seriously.
Why
Well, I'm
bring
in the theater.
Why bring an iPad to the theater? Why?
Because you get better quality
He was
when you're-
watching a
when
movie
you're
on his
pirating the
iPad,
film.
waiting for the movie to come up. So anyway, I go to the usher. Let's just get because
All right.
theater 12 made sense.
Yeah.
So I go to the usher because I'm waiting in line for this, and there's like a long line of people. I'm like, I'm gonna miss the trailer. I'm gonna miss everything. So I'm like, you know what? Fuck the drink. I'm gonna live like I'm in the 80s. I'm not gonna drink or eat any food. I'm just gonna sit there. I'm just gonna watch the movie with nothing. I don't know what that meant.
I understand that.
I'm
Yeah,
just
we'll
like-
go with it.
I'm impatient.
In the
I'm
80s, they had no concessions.
No.
In
Not
the
at all.
80s, I was impatient.
And the
is what I'm
movie
saying.
cost a nickel.
Yes, I demanded money back. I said I want to pay the same amount of money I'd pay in 1987 for this movie. So I go and I walk up to the usher. The usher says, "Prometheus is in theater 12." I'm like, what do you mean Prometheus? I'm here to see Rock of Ages, and the guy looks at me like, you you don't look gay. Like you don't look like you're into Broadway
Really?
musicals. I was like, what?
Yeah, a
And,
little. But
I mean, I was, so what if I was wearing my Kiss Crazy Nights t-shirt? I had on, another different, I ripped up jeans, right? I had, so what if I was dressed like I belonged in 1987, 88? So what? The guy looked at me and goes, you're here to see Prometheus. The guy was even looking at me like, you know what? You got a ticket for Prometheus? You're not going to see Rock of Ages. I'm like, what? What do you mean? So I was just like, whatever. But yeah, I guess the woman, when I said Rock of Ages, to her that sounded like Prometheus. Ages.
Same number of
Prometheus.
syllables.
yep, and the
So I think she was just trying to
Yeah.
convince me.
And
Yeah.
both have vowels and
Yeah.
consonants.
So
in
she
them.
probably just figured this schmuck doesn't want to go see Rock of Ages. You honestly, you probably said Prometheus. She was looking at me going, the guy's looking like he just stepped out of the 80s. He pulled in with Kiss seat covers. Okay, he was blasting the soundtrack to Rock of Ages to go to the movie. He pulls in. He's here to see Prometheus, right? He has to be.
Yeah.
So, and again, I had a headband, I had the leg warmers, and I walk up, and I was like, I said, hey, listen, Blossom, Rock of Ages.
yeah, Blossom.
And she
Jiggles, hey
just,
Jiggles.
Listen, Blossom, listen, I'm here
And
to see
her
Rock of Ages.
response was, "Would you like the $5 bootleg that I've got here,
Yeah.
or would you like me to just kick it square in the nuts?"
It's already been released in England here on
Yeah.
Blu-ray. Here you go, sir. But I didn't make us think about it. I figured, you know what? The theater's not going to be packed. Okay, I'm gonna just walk in. I'm not gonna go get my ticket changed because I don't think they're gonna come in and go, "Sir, we're max capacity." Okay, I mean, somebody's gonna come in and go, "Wait a minute, there's one less seat for Rock of Ages." So I just went into the men's room and said, "You know what? I'll just walk over to theater 3 where Rock of Ages was," even though they're all pointing at me like, "Hey, sir, you're going in the wrong." They did. The guy even. I'm like, "No, I'm all set. Don't worry, pal. All right." They did. They had to point out to me, "No, I told you 12. No, I'm fine. I'm fine." So I get there, I'm 40 years old,
Yes, you are.
and I'm a member of that generation, right? It's my music, right? I was the youngest person in the audience. There might have been another like couple that might have been in their teens. And I don't mean people came in that were like 42, 43. There were people older than my mother that were in front of me. There was like a 75-year-old like great grandmother in front of me with like a whole bunch of other like 75-year-old women. There was like all these older like couples coming in. So I had to just go outside, and I'm dead serious. Like I actually physically got up out of my seat and went out and just because again I don't have the theater number. I have Prometheus on my ticket.
Yeah.
I go out to look at the sign again to make sure it's Rock of Ages because I was trying to think. You know, was Alvin and the Chipmunks play? Whatever movie would be in that theater that these old people would be going. Like, what Morgan Freeman movie is out right now?
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for Morgan Freeman on the screen because I'm like, these people cannot be here to see Rock of Ages. They can't. Why would old, like 70-year-old people be here to see Rock of Ages? Makes no sense. It's not their music. And I'm thinking, this is a sexy movie. They're gonna be offended by this. Like they're gonna be offended because there's some risque stuff in this.
Really?
It's very degrading.
I saw
to
Tom
women.
Cruise signing a woman's chest.
That's not even in the movie. That's another one of my qualms.
Yeah.
That happens a lot
Yeah.
now.
Oh, yeah.
In trailers, there's
Yeah.
stuff that's not actually in the movie.
That was the only reason I went to see this movie.
And you
Was
said
to watch
you
him
wait,
sign
you
breast.
wait for that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they keep it at the end.
It's
at the,
almost like
during the-
trailers have become deleted scenes.
Yeah.
Well, there was one thing. There's two comments about this too. Somebody complained they never went to see the movie, from what I understand, because they complained that the song "Rock of Ages" isn't even in the movie. They're like, well, the Def Leppard song is never, because they don't sing "Rock of Ages" in the Broadway show, but they're like, "Rock of Ages" isn't even in the movie. Why do they even call the movie Rock of Ages? They don't even play. Rock of Ages plays. The Def Leppard version of the song plays in the soundtrack. And I heard the same complaint about a Toby Keith movie years ago that was Beer for My Horses, based on his song Beer for My Horses.
Yeah.
He made a movie like 4 years later based on the song.
Right.
And the big complaint was, you only get like 13 seconds of the song in the movie. Like a guy complained on the Internet Movie Database.
Were you just expecting like an hour and a half video?
No, but here's the thing. The motherfucker doesn't stay to the end credits. The whole fucking song plays in the end credits like a lot of songs do.
Right.
But this guy was bitching and moaning. They never even played Beer for My Horses, and the song in the movie's called Beer for My Horses. It's like, really? Like, you went to see the song? And that was like a complaint I heard about Rock of Ages. I'm like, well, they don't even sing Rock of Ages in this movie. And it's like, really? Like, that's a complaint?
Wow.
Like, they don't-
Right. Here's the gay in me. 9 to 5, one of my favorite.
9 to 5.
9 to 5, one of my favorite '80s movies of all time. They only played at the end, but like throughout the film, you hear dun 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 dun,
yeah,
dun,
throughout the whole
and the typewriters play.
Yeah, you hear the music
and then
throughout
it
the whole
goes
film.
into the Muzak version,
right.
and I'm always like, okay, here it goes,
Yeah.
and it went to
It's like a tease.
Muzak.
It's a
yeah.
cock tease in that
It
movie.
is a
The entire
9 to 5
film
is
is
nothing but
one
a cock tease.
It is. It's one cock tease because you don't get it until the end, but the whole movie has the whole. Dun, dun, dun. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right, because that's one of those movies that plays the whole theme throughout the whole entire. And I think the movie Harper Valley PTA, again named after a song, does the same thing where you have throughout the whole movie the theme songs playing, but they never get to the song. To
Yeah.
the end of the...
You know, there was a woman who tried to sue, and it got thrown out, but she tried to sue the studio that put out the movie Drive.
Oh, the recent movie
because
Drive,
there's
yeah.
not enough driving in it.
There's not enough driving. She was
Seriously,
all
that's-
upset. I went there looking for some driving. I thought it was a movie based on driving.
Yeah, she was mad that there's no
no driving.
in it.
He
I
only
heard that.
drives for
Yeah.
like 15 minutes in a 2-hour movie. It's very upsetting because the movie's about driving.
Where did these lawsuits end? These frivolous lawsuits. The parents of the girl who got beamed in the head. I think the Fisher Cat
They
should
should-
sue
they
him
should.
for negligence.
They should sue him.
All right, sorry.
Anyway, so I was a little surprised, but Sam had a good point today. Sam made the point. The promotion for Rock of Ages is from the people that brought you Hairspray. So these old fuckers were like, Hairspray! That's one of the greatest musicals ever. This is going to be just as good.
Right.
And John Travolta, well,
Dressed as a woman.
he dressed as a woman. He's one of those freako Scientologists like Tom Cruise, and Tom Cruise is in this movie, so there must be something good in this.
They're both gay.
They're both gay. They both
Very
like to
much
get
so.
handies from massage
We're
therapists.
not even putting allegedly
You
on
know?
that. Verbal ejaculation stands to this day saying Tom Cruise and
Tom Cruise and John Travolta are gay.
are gay.
So, but at least Tom Cruise doesn't
Allegedly.
dress up like a woman in this movie, but he does kind of, he does
He's
have
got
the makeup
Axl
on, he's got
Rose
the,
extensions.
but I actually enjoyed the film. And I'm one of these like dweebs that while I'm watching the movie, like I'm holding it in, like I don't want to sing along throughout the whole film. Like I'm sitting there, I'm just kind of like, don't sing. Don't sing along to these tunes because you're really just going to annoy the whole fucking audience around you. Because these old people are going to be like, why is this young buck over there singing during our movie? Like
what?
You know they're going to be, they're going to get me thrown out, and then they're going to see I have Prometheus on my ticket, and I'm screwed, right? So what am I going to do? I snuck in, going to this ticket, right?
Snuck in to
so
see
they're going to be, wait a minute.
Poor people.
They're going, this bastard doesn't even have a ticket for this movie, right? They're going to be yelling at me. Because so I'm like, okay, I can't sing. So I'm sitting there and I got the toe tapping going, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, you know what, I have to hate the movie, but I can't because it's funny, and it's like, and I've never seen the Broadway show, but I know the storyline, and they Hollywoodized the movie. They changed the storyline. So it's got the uplifting Hollywood ending.
Really?
It doesn't have the cynical, your life sucks.
I'm not surprised. I'm just disappointed.
But the musical numbers are kind of funny. Some of them are. Alec Baldwin and Russell Brand are geniuses in this movie. They really are. What Alec Baldwin does in his role, and they take the two characters, and what they do with them is also different, too, because the Broadway show, I don't know if you know much about the Broadway show.
I'm not actually familiar, just that Brent Michaels got hurt during the
Tonys thing. Yeah. The Broadway show is the owner of this club, which is supposed to be, like the hottest club on Sunset Strip, and it takes place in 1987, of course, the height of, this whole, or it's starting to, like, everything's dying out, of course, and there's like a PMRC type of, like, or in the Broadway show, it's these industrialists, it's these German industrialists that come in and try to take over and, like, tear down.
And yeah, we're gonna turn this into a trash compactor.
In the movie, they get rid of the industrialist and they make it a mayor and his wife. And so Catherine Zeta-Jones, Catherine Zeta, and the mayor is like, out cheating, and the wife is Catherine Zeta-Jones, who's got like a hidden agenda why she hates rock and roll music. And it's like she's kind of like the Tipper, pretty much.
Okay.
And she's like the Tipper Jones, or not Tipper Gore. I'm adding Catherine Zeta-Jones, Tipper Jones. But she's actually a pretty good character. But it was like, so they kind of changed it up a little bit, and they changed some of the stuff. But it was like, but the Alec Baldwin character and his right-hand man, who's played by Russell Brand, in the Broadway play, they sing I Can't Fight This Feeling Anymore. They sing a love duet with each other as a tongue-in-cheek because they spend the entire time together as partners or whatever. They're not like lovers, but they sing this as a tongue-in-cheek. In the movie, they fall in love with each other. So they actually become a gay couple in the movie. And you have this running joke. And that's what's really funny. Because there's like, you have this like 80s flashback scene where you see when Russell Brand's character is first applying for the job, and you see Alec Baldwin taking his application, accidentally touching his hand, and he looks at him lovingly, and they kind of glance and have a moment. And then there's like a scene where the two of them are playing mini golf, and you have Alec Baldwin wearing like a Kiss t-shirt and like kind of helping him putt, and he's all dressed in like rocker wear too, and they're all like long hair and looking all manly and everything, and it's like. And you see this like montage of them kind of like falling in love and just doing things together while they're singing this REO Speedwagon song together. Like, that's hilarious.
That is hilarious.
It's hilarious. And I'm like sitting there laughing hysterically while these old fuckers are all like, what is that young man doing laughing at this? This is atrocious!
Homosexuals and their agenda.
Like they just...
Gay militant agenda.
It's the gay agenda. The gay Hollywood is bringing it in.
Because nothing says militant like Russell Brand.
But it was just funny because it's like, stuff like scenes like that are funny. And it's like, and throughout the whole movie, Alec Baldwin will see like, men in the club and think they're women and keep getting that, like, that's a joke that's ongoing. And no, women are supposed to drink for free. And they're like, no, these are dudes. These are guys. Like, and he keeps making that mistake. And it's like, but it's a funny movie. Like, I highly recommend it as a funny movie. But if you don't like musicals, don't go see it because it's a musical number every 5 minutes. And some people think that by them taking the classic hair metal songs and those classic songs that they're kind of, bastardizing or however you pronounce that word. Bastardizing that whole generation. So the people that take that whole, like, for people that take hair metal seriously, which it never should have been taken seriously.
Right.
Disco shouldn't have been taken seriously either, but some people still live by that.
But it's like, it's just, but it was like one of these things where like, it's just funny because there's like a scene where they're running through Tower Records and stuff, and you see like all the old like giant like promotional stuff which you don't see anymore in the record industry, which was just kind of neat. It's just neat because there's a lot of jokes based on like the 80s.
Yeah.
And it's just my other grievance was there's a lot of cameos. And you have people in the audience that are the rock and rollers that are basically saying, you know, they do that whole "we built this city" part, which I don't know why that song. I think, and again, the whole Broadway show is supposed to be very sarcastic anyway, using these tunes. But there's a scene where they're kind of fighting to tear down the club, and the rock and roll's evil women are sitting there singing the "We're Not Going to Take It," and they have the "We Built the City," so it's kind of like they're fighting. The rockers are singing "We Built the City" on rock and roll, and
you know how I feel about that.
I know.
song.
Well, that's
how the Muppets used it.
So you're sitting there, you're hearing this, we built the city, and you have Russell Brand's characters, the start of it. You look at the crowd, you have Sebastian Bach in the crowd as a cameo. You have Nuno Bettencourt from Extreme. You have the guy from REO Speedwagon there. Kevin Cronin, the lead singer from REO Speedwagon.
You know these names?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Matt does. Matt's in the music industry.
He knows. I know he does.
You know, you have these like artists that are musicians from that generation, and one of the rock and rollers is fucking Debbie Gibson.
Really?
Debbie Gibson is next to Sebastian Bach going, "We built this city on rock and roll." Like, there's a part, like, in the movie where the main character gets put in a boy band because he has to sell himself in a boy band because metal's being turned into, like, metal's dying. And, like, if he has to make it in the industry, he has to be in this really horrible boy band or he has to change his image. Debbie Gibson was part of that generation. She didn't build the city on rock and roll. She has nothing to do. The only thing Debbie Gibson has to do is I think she might have been in the Broadway show, maybe.
I think she may have been.
But there's no reason to put her fucking cameo in that group, though.
At that
She's
time.
not a rock and roller. She never was.
Yeah.
Don't put her in with Sebastian Bach or Nuno or the Kevin Cronin. Don't put her in that section.
What was that group that got like best rock and roll album and they had nothing to do with rock and roll? They were more.
Are you thinking of metal when it was Jethro Tull?
Yeah, thank you.
When
maybe that was their tongue.
That Metallica Black should have won, and it
here's
was
Sebastian Bach, and here's your Jethro Tull moment.
Yeah, but I mean that actually offended me because it was like, do the people making this movie get? I know they're making it probably a cameo because she was in the Broadway show, but you could have put her. Like Constantine, who was in the Broadway show, is one of the rec executives in the movie. He makes an appearance. So you use him because he wasn't there to, like he wasn't a part of that generation.
Yeah.
So you put him. So you don't put Debbie Gibson in with Sebastian Bach and Nuno.
No.
Like you don't put her in with the '80s rockers.
You would put her in with Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Make her one
of
of the church group people because it's like you're having a whole part of the movie where you're kind of like, oh my God, this metal dude has to become a boy band because, and it's like, she's part of that grouping. It's like, don't put her in this We Built the City. And she's one of these people and she's hogging the camera during the scene.
Really?
Like, she's got to get in front of the camera. She's kind of almost like pushing Sebastian Bach out of the way in one of the scenes where she's getting in the scene. And it's like, why do you have her there? Like, there's no reason for her to be there. And it's like, and I just think as a hair metal fan or even as a rock and roll fan or as a metal fan, I was like, get her the fuck out of that scene. Like, she's not, like, that was the only thing that offended me. Putting Debbie Gibson in that section. I wasn't offended by any of the casting. I thought the casting was great. I liked all the casting.
How is Alec Baldwin singing?
Well, he doesn't really sing.
Okay.
Like, they do like Nothing But a Good Time. And there's the line in that song where it's like, let's raise a toast to all of us, or, breaking our backs each day. He gets up and just kind of goes, let's raise a toast to all of it. Like, he's kind of speaking that line.
All right.
Yeah.
And he kind of like, he's kind of speaking.
So it's not like Pierce Brosnan trying to wing it during a Mamma Mia.
Yeah.
No. He okay.
Yeah,
I just
he
want to know
basically
because
speaks
I
it,
think
yeah.
Pierce Brosnan probably would have done a better job if he just spoke every ABBA line.
Yeah. I actually watched. I was forced into watching Mamma Mia.
I've never seen Mamma Mia, but
yeah.
I've heard that's one of the good things about it is it's actually kind of funny when Pierce Brosnan is.
Yeah,
when he's singing,
horrible.
when he's trying
Horrible.
to sing, it's horrible.
Horrible.
Yeah. It's almost as bad as when Kevin Costner did Robin Hood, and you try to do an English
They
accent.
should have called him Robin from Iowa.
Yeah. It's the same thing. Pierce Brosnan can't sing, and and James Bond should not be singing.
We have a whole chat room discussion going on
About boy bands suck,
Matt from the chat room and TSA Scott, that'd be Scott Perry, a regular guest on Verbal Ejaculation, who couldn't make it tonight. Apparently he's not feeling well, feeling under the weather. So Scott, thank you for joining us in the chat room. They're talking about boy bands.
Boy bands. And I mean, even the whole boy band scene was kind of funny too. But it was it actually no. I mean,
Is it Menudo boy band?
it was well.
NKOTV.
It was no. It was kind of like. I forget the name, but they gave him like it was like they were saying that you had to have like multiple Z's at the end of your name, and it was like and everybody on the band was like Donnie Z, Billy Z, like Jimmy Z, and it was like and it was like the guys, like the good guys or the bad guy. I forget the name of the band, but it was like, and somebody was like, oh, I heard of that band. It's like no, you haven't heard of us because we have an extra Y and an extra Z at the end of the name or something.
We're Queen.
And they have this,
AW.
and the funny thing is when I'm watching the movie, if you remember growing up and the way Phil used to dress, because Phil was into that type of music, and he'd wear the collarless shirts with the bright jackets and stuff. They were dressing kind of like Phil.
Oh, really?
And like one of the characters was like dressed in the boy band. And it was like, and I looked and I'm like, I think Phil had an outfit just like this outfit, and I just know. I mean, it was like to me, it was a reminiscent type of movie because it was like. It kind of was like, having lived through that, growing up in that era, being in high school during that era, it was just kind of neat because you're kind of relating to the characters because the main characters are kind of like around that same age because she's like a teenage girl coming from a small town, to make it big and stuff, and you're kind of thinking, hey, I was a teenager in '87, so you relate to it.
So how was Tom Cruise's singing?
Tom Cruise, I actually liked his singing. They claim that they put him through a lot of filters and a lot of I don't really hear that much auto-tune with him or auto-tune or whatever with him.
Right.
But I don't think he does a bad job because he does Paradise City. He does Wanted Dead or Alive. He does Pour Some Sugar on Me. He does Rock You Like a Hurricane. He does I Want to Know What Love Is. Like, he does a whole bunch of songs.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were saying, oh, Tom Cruise is barely in the movie. He's a focal point of the whole film. And they got him all tattooed up. Yeah. And he plays like a burnt-out Axl Rose. He looks a little bit like Bret Michaels, but he's more like Axl Rose for his character because he doesn't show up to gigs. They have to tell him his gig was like the night before for him to show up at gig. Yeah. Like there's a total like Axl Rose joke about his whole character.
Yeah.
And he's totally just lost his mind. And his whole character is he doesn't want to be with his band anymore because he hates all the people in his band, so he wants to go solo. And it's kind of like, and he's kind of. He has no concept, but he's got like this monkey that goes around with him. Like he's got all these weird like spiritual advisors. Like he's just totally just gone. And it's like, and I like his character. I thought his character was funny. I thought he did a good job. And some people were questioning the casting. Man, I don't know if you remember years ago when he did an interview with a vampire. People questioned him being Vampire Lestat because they were like, oh well, he shouldn't be. He shouldn't be vampire. He shouldn't be vampire.
Was supposed to be this tall blonde.
Tall blonde guy. Yeah. But the irony is, if anybody remembers that book series, Lestat becomes a rock and roll star.
Yes.
Yeah.
Queen of the Damned.
Well, Queen of the Damned, he ends up being a rock and roll star in the movie and the book and everything too. So I kind of, when I went to see this movie, I had that in mind because I'm thinking, okay, Tom Cruise. I liked Interview with the Vampire. That's one of my favorite vampire movies. I
thought it was a great.
And
I thought he did a great job, but I hadn't read the series, so.
And it was like, I kind of was like, okay, this is what would happen if Lestat, just kind of got burnt out. And like, I was kind of thinking, is Tom, will Tom Cruise do a good job? And I think Tom Cruise did a great job. And he's very hilarious. Like his character is just funny.
Tropic Thunder, doesn't he rap in that one?
Yes.
So he's familiar.
Yes. Tropic Thunder is hilarious.
He
is the movie.
He is
absolutely. He
is.
Oh, he's great.
Was he in another movie, or did he just come back as that character?
He came back on MTV.
Yeah, okay.
Like a thing, and I think there was rumors they were going to do like a spin-off movie with him. But there's a movie I want to see them make that they've been hinting about with him and Ben Stiller as the Hardy Boys.
Oh, really?
Like as the Hardy Boys, like just grown up now today, because you always had Stiller doing the Tom Cruise impersonation, and he does it dead. But it was going to be the two of them were going to be the Hardy Boys, and just kind of be like the Hardy Boys today, like just washed up.
The Hardy Men.
The Hardy Men. I think was what the name of the movie was going to be called, actually. And
I'd like to see that.
And they were talking about doing that movie, and I think it might even be on IMDb still. But it was like there was rumors about this, and that concept to me, I was like, why don't they just get that made? Because that to me would be just a hilarious movie because the two of them need to really be together. Like they need to be, because I mean,
Yes.
you know, in without him having a fat suit and being
Right.
that Hollywood.
Or
You know.
the shorts that they do for the, I think one of them was the MTV Movie Award where Ben Stiller plays Tom Cruise's stuntman, and they
Yes,
looked
that was
exactly
good.
alike.
Yeah,
Like
that
he had all the mannerisms down.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, because I think, I mean, Stiller does a great cruise, and he always has. And
yeah.
then
yeah.
one of my favorite things was when Color Money was popular, and Stiller had that Color Money, like
SNL
they had the
skit,
SNL
yeah.
skit, which was
Yeah.
always great.
Yeah.
The but yeah, there was. Yeah, I love the character he plays in Tropic Thunder. Tropic
Yeah.
Thunder. See, the thing about me is I love Tom Cruise. Like, I can't think of a bad movie
Yeah, I like him too.
that
I liked
you know,
Night and Day.
Night
I
and
did
Day,
like.
I think that's a
I did
great
like
movie.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Underrated film in my
Yeah.
opinion. A lot of people
I-
didn't like it.
Yeah, and I think it was an attempt for Hollywood to kind of reconcile for such a dismal box office numbers for Vanilla Sky, which was again Tom Cruise
Yeah.
and Cameron
I like
Diaz.
that too.
And that's
I-
very cerebral.
I did not hate Vanilla Sky. I
Oh.
actually
Yeah.
thought it was decent.
Yeah.
And
I
if you
liked it.
like, if you watched that movie, Vanilla Sky, if you watched Vanilla Sky and looked for all the hidden messages in the whole movie, like, have you actually sat through it and like picked out?
No. I just when it comes to the end where tech support is explaining, here's the point.
Yeah.
This is why you had this moment with her because you had the album cover,
Yeah.
or because here's Kurt Russell's character was your father figure throughout
Yeah.
all of this. That's I didn't go and pick through.
Because it was like when I first saw that movie. Like, the thing that got me about that movie is, I immediately saw the Dylan cover while it was happening, and I'm like, hey, that's the Dylan. Like, never even occurred to me though. I was just kind of like, hey, that's kind of weird because that's a Bob Dylan. That looks just like the Bob Dylan cover. And to me, like, I was noticing little things throughout the whole movie, and then when they kind of had that reveal, I was kind of like, wow, that is really neat, because it was like I was following through what, because I tend to sometimes with some movies I'll analyze, like I'll watch them, like, because to me that wasn't a popcorn movie.
Right.
No.
You know, that's not an Avengers. That's not a movie that you just go and just sit there and not even like.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. Eyes Wide Shut. Awful fucking movie. Sorry.
I agree.
Eyes Wide Shut.
I don't like it either. I agree.
The only thing I'd say about that movie is the acting is atrocious.
I'm glad Kubrick died after that. That's how awful I thought the movie was.
Wow.
Didn't the movie
I-
kill him? Didn't that movie
I
just
think
kill
it
him?
did. So now with these Easter eggs and the stuff that they were dropping throughout the
Mhm.
film for Vanilla Sky, was it after that moment where he wakes up in the street and Penelope Cruz finds him, or did they have Easter eggs prior to that? Because that's the point where you're supposed to go into
Well, like the whole
stasis.
movie, there's stuff throughout the entire film, like right from the beginning of the film. So it makes you think.
Well, then yeah,
because you have to think throughout the whole movie, like, is any part of it real?
right.
Because there's so much going on that you'll like through it, and it's just, I've watched that movie so many times, and it's so cerebral. It's like one of those movies that kind of like before, because there's been more modern cerebral movies, like Inception was very cerebral. Like there's movies,
Yes.
there's like even
Love that one,
Memento,
though.
which was a very cerebral movie
Love
too.
that one.
Like that was one of those movies that it was very cerebral, and I think a lot of people hated it
Mm.
because it was too cerebral. And it wasn't cool enough cerebral, if that makes sense to you. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't dark and edgy as some of the other movies that have come after it. And I think Memento might have been before that though, because I think Memento might have been
So at least same time.
around the same
Christopher
time.
Nolan
I
did
think
that
it
one
was
too.
that
Yeah,
right?
that was Christopher Nolan. Was Memento after?
I think so.
But I mean, it was just. But I think a lot of people just didn't really.
They were. I think that you're right. They were expecting. So when you have stars like Cameron Diaz and Tom Cruise, they were probably expecting. It's a love story, if
Yeah.
anything.
The only thing
But clearly,
the only person
it was a love story, but it was very.
I never thought Penelope Cruz was a good actress though. She's one of those people
You
that I
know
always
what?
thought
I
was
have
overrated.
yet to see the fourth Pirates movie, the fourth installment,
She's
because
okay in that because it's a Disney film.
yeah, but she
But watch the original.
doesn't.
Vanilla
do it
Sky is
for
a
me.
remake. You know.
I know I'm gay, but still,
Vanilla Sky is
what do you mean?
Vanilla Sky is a remake of a Spanish movie that she's in. So if you watch the original movie she's in, that's actually a little bit better too. I think it's called Open Your Eyes, is the movie, but that's a remake. It's actually
Well, and I was just gonna say that's at least 3 times in the movie.
Open
It
Your
says,
Eyes,
"David,
Your
open
Eyes."
your eyes."
Yeah, and I think she's better in that movie. And I hate to say why. I think because it's going to come off racist, but she's speaking her native tongue,
Mm.
and I think she's a better actress when she does her own native language movies. Like when she's doing a Spanish-speaking movie, I think she's a better actress. When she starts doing movies and she's speaking English, Like
That makes sense.
it doesn't.
Yeah.
She doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't think she does well as an English-speaking actress. Like she has that.
Now, would you think the same thing with someone like Sofia Vergara, who became popular to most Americans because she started off in in an American comedy? I have not seen. Actually, I've never seen anything that Sofia Vergara has done in.
I
Colombia,
saw some.
but-
I saw something. Was she in some? She was in some movie like many years ago. That was some like cheesy love story movie that I want to say she was speaking.
Was it called Love Story?
No, but it was something like, was it Chasing Poppy or something like that? Or something.
There is
was
a
she
movie
in
out
that
there called
movie?
Chasing Poppy.
Yeah.
Was she, or am I thinking of somebody else that was in that movie?
That's IMDb. It's Sofia Vergara. Because she's an actress who is very even.
But I don't
even
watch
in
her
a
on the show
sitcom.
you're
She still
talking
has in Modern Family.
Yeah,
She
I
still has a very pronounced accent, and I even find it sometimes hard to understand.
like this is gonna sound really bad. I liked her in the Smurfs movie, but I mean that's the only thing I've really seen her
Is it
in.
Sofia Vergara?
I think so.
Sofia Vergara, yeah. But I thought I might have saw her
Weird.
in a movie like
Am I misspelling it?
I don't know. Is it with an F? Is it SOFIA?
Oh, is Thank you. Yep, you're right. You're absolutely right.
But yeah, I can't really
So-
give a good judge on her. I mean, the only other actress that I really cannot stand is Halle Berry. I think Halle Berry is way over because I every movie I've ever seen Halle Berry in, I think is
Recently, or at
bad.
least within the past 10 years, Helen Hunt. In fact, I loved Castaway because she was only in it for about 5 minutes.
Hmm.
I love the TV show Helen Hunt used to be on. With the
Mad About You.
Yeah, with
I never
right.
liked that. I found it very
Yeah.
tedious.
And
She
what
was
was the
in-
show that Richard Lewis was on? What was that? That was the one with him and Jamie Lee Curtis. What was that
Oh,
called? I
God.
used to love that show too.
Something.
It didn't last long, did it?
Because that was actually a good sitcom.
I remember the show. I can't remember what it was called.
Chasing Poppy, you are right.
Chasing Poppy.
She was also in Big Trouble with Tim Allen and Renee Russo.
Oh, okay. I
The
didn't
best
see that
actress in our generation, by the way.
show. Who?
Renee Russo. Absolutely.
Trying to think what I've seen her recently in.
A Walmart. She was a greeter.
Huh.
No, I'm trying to think. What have I seen her in recently? Because I thought
We're,
I
we're
saw
just
her.
going through all of these here. All right.
these. What was Richard Lewis's sitcom with Anything But Love? Is that what it was?
Yeah,
I
that
think
sounds
so.
right. Anything
Yeah.
but love. Let me see. We're going all the way back to the 80s here, aren't we?
All But Love? Anything But Love?
Anything But Love.
Anything But Love, okay.
And
that
it
was him and Jamie Lee Curtis, right?
56 episodes, so I guess 2 seasons it lasted.
Yeah. Well, what was the years it said? Like 80 to 82 or something like that? 89?
89 to 92. 3 seasons.
Huh.
Oh.
Because I used to love that show. I thought that. Because I
What
love
else
Richard
were we
Lewis.
talking? Oh, Renee. Yeah, what was she in recently?
I just saw her in something recently that I actually liked, and I can't remember what the movie
Renee
was.
Russo, I love you.
I think it was called The Final Shift. I think she was in that movie.
I think she actually was the
She was beta.
Caterer.
She was beta, wasn't she?
She was the-
She was that. She
she
was
was
that
the
elusive
kid.
beta.
Huh.
Thor.
Thor. Yeah, she's Thor's mother. Yeah,
Frigga.
maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Was that it? That she was in Thor? Yeah, maybe that's what I'm
Yours,
thinking of.
mine, and ours. So she had 6 years of not doing anything. It goes from yours, mine, and ours to Thor.
Oh, maybe that's it. Maybe that is the last.
Whatever
movie I
happened
saw.
to Renee Russo? Seriously, whatever happened to her?
Well, that's actresses like
Uh, What is going? Okay, so clearly there's a whole other conversation
that.
going.
Well, they're
on
talking
in the
about putting
chat.
boobs on the show. They're talking about having
need to
tits.
to get some female guests on here. No, we don't.
Scott was being offensive about Tom Cruise sucking dick or something. I don't know what he was talking about because it was being censored. So I
Apparently,
couldn't-
Melanie is not up for an option for coming on our show. I guess Matt and Scott should just have their own.
They're
show.
having a conversation about commercials. Tom Cruise being a crack whore.
The literal, ambiguously gay duo out there should have their own show.
I mean, with all, I did see something earlier about me going to a Chunky's dinner theater. I don't know.
Thinking about maybe getting some slut.
Oh, and get
before.
interrupted by the wait staff. Okay.
What about who's the?
I don't know.
Women
what
are not. All women are not sluts and whores. But
No,
all sluts
are
and
they
whores
talking?
tend to
No,
be
are they
women.
talking about that though? I don't understand what that's all about. No, I think they were.
I have
talking
no
about,
idea. I lost track.
I mean,
I'm not even scrolling.
I
up
thought for a second Slicko was on the chat room for a second. 'Cause that
Oh,
sounded like
we have
Slicko's
to call
talk.
him at some point, but I don't think tonight's going to be
'Cause
the
that-
show that we're going to call
'cause
him.
that sounds
Slicko, if
like-
you're watching, we will give you a call at some
Well,
point.
is he still homeless? Because does he have any access to watching or listening? Because because last time we talked to him, wasn't he homeless?
Living in his car, yeah, that's how long it's been.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that was when it was at your place. We weren't on TV. We were just doing a radio.
Yep.
show, That we called him and we said, yeah, we'll give you a call next week. Slicko, we'll get right back to you, buddy. We'll help you out. We'll have a telethon.
I want to get in touch with him, but we're gonna have to start a show with Slicko.
Start a show with Slicko, and
he's someone who can talk for a long
and that's
time.
somebody that's as confusing as Vanilla Sky. You talk to Slicko, you get him on the line, and you try to figure out what the hell he's talking about. But well, that's good.
Matt has a suggestion on how you can get
Yes.
sluts and whores on the show.
Yeah, well, I mean, the way he's dressed tonight, I would agree with that statement. Yes, he is but the no, I just
Well, that's because he has his own like cattle of women.
He does.
Is that what it's called? Is it a cattle
His
of women?
posse.
Posse.
His posse.
Hey.
His pussy posse.
Oh, posse. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
his pussy posse.
Pussy
That's what it
posse.
is. But no, I recommend, if you can go with an open mind, go see Rock of Ages. I mean, if you're a fan of that type of music, though, don't go there as a hater. Don't go there as, I mean, it's just kind of, if you like reliving that generation. If you're like me that still listens to the music and stuff, and again, I looked at it as, if the movie does well, which I don't think it really is doing that well.
No, it's not.
It's not.
No, it's this one, and what was the other one that came out recently that's just not doing as
Well,
well?
there was two movies that came out at the same time that totally bombed because
It's Prometheus. Actually, I think that's doing pretty well.
It was
Shit.
was it Men in Black 3?
No, that was doing well. That was doing very well.
It was something that came out the same weekend.
And it was another star power movie too.
Yeah.
Oh well.
But I mean,
If you guys know it, or in the chat room, if you guys,
it probably will be. It probably will be one of those things that's like coming soon on video, really, really fast, type of thing. And it was like,
And so, well, my friend Chris Pinn went to see it. He admitted to seeing this 3 times already.
now, had
in the
he
theater.
seen the Broadway show? I'm sure he has.
I'm sure he's probably YouTubed clips of it if
Mm-hmm.
they leaked. I don't think he went to actually see the show.
But he must like the movie. You've seen it.
He
3
liked it so
times.
much that when I was in New York with him yesterday,
Mhm.
every stop that there was bootleggers, he was stopping looking for that copy.
But he couldn't find it, could he?
No.
There's not. That's the thing. There's not a lot out there right now, and that's what confused me. Either nobody's going to see it and bootlegging the movie, or it's so
Even the
closely
bootleggers
guarded.
walked out halfway through.
But it
That's
was
the
like
problem.
there's a lot of but it's one of those things where there's a lot of movies. Well, there were people that left the theater, which I was kind of surprised
Really?
with. When I was watching the movie, there were a couple that actually left the theater halfway through the film.
Really?
Yeah. And I was kind of like, were they offended by the movie? Or were they just, did they think it was that bad? Or did they just not? But I mean, it was, again, like Dark Shadows didn't do that well.
No.
And I think Dark Shadows, again, I was a fan of the TV show, and I was a fan of that. So, I mean, I went there appreciating it. My brother, who was a fan of the TV show, again, that was another, like, reliving our childhood. So this was another thing where I kind of relived my childhood or my teenage years. So I went there with the anticipation of, I'm not expecting this to be Citizen Kane.
Right.
Like, I'm not expecting this to be The Graduate. I'm not expecting this to be one of the top 10 movies on my all-time list. It's not going to be that. And it's like, and it's not going to, and some people disagree with me, but the Passion of the Christ changed my life. That movie, actually, when I watched that movie,
Did
it
it make
actually
you hate
changed.
Mel Gibson?
No, actually, I actually like Mel Gibson as a filmmaker and as an actual filmmaker, he's a good guy. But it's like, as a human being, he's atrocious. But I mean, but I mean, you can't take that away. I mean, there's like Roman Polanski is not a nice person, but he makes phenomenal films. So you
Right.
can't really,
Rosemary's Baby was,
you can't
phenomenal.
judge a person, their filmmaking, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
there's a lot, and I mean, there's a lot of stuff that went on in the early days of Hollywood, but the blacklisting of people, like they blacklisted people because they were communists,
Yeah,
but they
Howard
made
Mc-
phenomenal.
I was gonna say Howard McCarthy.
Howard McCarthy was a communist, was he really? But there was,
We miss you, Howard.
but you know,
Oh,
there was
Senator
people.
McCarthy.
Is
Joe
that why
McCarthy.
he got blacklisted from 23?
Yeah.
Because he was like,
Yes, he's a
Actually,
con-
I believe somebody actually caused him to fall down. That's
Is that what-
allegedly some commie hater.
Some
So
commie
yeah, Joe McCarthy
We need to
grabbed
get,
names
uh,
of
yeah.
QC
producers
News to
and
investigate.
writers and actors.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they all got.
But there were some really phenomenal filmmakers that might have had ideals that would have been construed as communistic ideals at the time, and there's people nowadays that have similar like beliefs or ideals that are still kind of being shunned or whatever. And but I mean, we're not saying, Roman Polanski, what did he had sex with, what was he, a 13-year-old
Statutory
girl?
rape.
Statutory rape. But it was like, but wasn't she consented to it, right?
And she's an adult now, and she even said, "Drop the charges. It's okay.
Yeah.
I'm not pressing any."
Yeah,
charges.
it was the parents that
Yeah.
like pressed the charges, wasn't it, or something like that? But it was.
He's not allowed.
But he's not. He's not allowed to come into the country or
Yeah.
whatever. And it's like, they had this like ban on him, and it was like people were out there like, oh, boycott his films, ban his films. But again, that's one of those filmmakers that I adore his movies because I can't think of a really bad, like you're saying, there's some bad Kubrick films, which. Yeah, Eyes Wide Shut.
Eyes Wide
film.
Shut. Yeah, that's the one I would say is probably the worst. Other than that, he's done a great job. Even Barry Lyndon.
I've never watched Barry Lyndon.
It's all right, slow.
Yeah,
but it's not Eyes Wide Shut.
But Polanski, I think most of the stuff I've seen from Polanski, great films. And it's like, and I can say the same. Like I like Mel Gibson's filmmaking. Like Braveheart's one of the greatest movies ever made. And I think The Passion of the Christ as a film, you may not have to agree with the movie. Like you may not have to be like, but if you look at it again, if you look at Passion of the Christ just as the cinematography alone, it's a phenomenal film, just cinematography wise.
Right.
Like the way he filmed that movie, and just the way like you don't have to be like a Christian to appreciate it. You don't have to be like, if you just look at the film of the way it's.
People still flock to Woody Allen films despite knowing.
What he did. I mean,
yeah,
but Woody Allen though is regarded as a genius, and I mean he was sleeping with his daughter.
Yeah,
his daughter, like she wasn't his.
I saw
blood daughter,
Deconstructing
but...
Harry like the weekend it came out. There was 3 people in the theater. 2 of them were with me. So it's.
But I mean, and some of his movies
people
have
hit and miss. Yeah, Midnight in Paris. I saw it. I thought it was cute.
Yeah. I mean, when he went on his, I'm going to make movies like Hitchcock, like he did Scoop and he did a couple other movies around that type of, like I thought those were really good. But it's like, he just, again, we can look at him and he's like, oh, he's a genius. He's okay. Oh, he just, he was just sleeping with his daughter. It's okay. Yeah. It's all right for him to do it. Roman Polanski had, well, again, it's not a blood daughter. It was but
statutory rape. Underage sex, even if it was consensual.
Was she underage?
She was.
At that time? Oh.
Yes, she was. She most certainly was. She was
what, Woody Allen's daughter was?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm still on Roman Polanski.
No, Woody Allen's daughter.
Sonia was not underage.
No, she was
and in a recent interview, she even said, I never considered him to be my father. In fact, it was Mia Farrow and her husband, or I guess there was a boyfriend at the time. They were
when
in the process of splitting up.
Yeah.
That he was considered more of the father.
Yeah. He was just Uncle Woody.
Yeah.
He was Uncle. We all have an Uncle Woody.
Uncle Woody that came in and he was
sweatpants.
Yeah.
But
But yeah, you're right. There's people who do horrible things.
But not as horrible as Mr. Sandusky, who's gonna now
see. And
he's got his ticket to hell.
We were at the Fisher Cats, and
Yes.
you heard all those kids screaming. I was like, oh, it's like taking a shower with Jerry Sandusky.
Yes, it is.
All these screaming kids.
He officially.
Matt in the chat room says incest in any fashion is gross.
Yeah.
Well, have you met my sister? Hi, Stacey.
Wow. But I mean,
that is creepy.
when the verdict came through, what was it? They said there was 3 charges that they didn't press. Like, what were those 3 charges?
Oh, 45 out of 48. I was under the assumption, this is the first thought that came to mind, was 3 of those probably passed the statute of limitations.
It's really
Probably,
just the aging of it. They just were like,
It happens.
45 counts, though. Wow.
45 out of 48.
So you think he's got a chance of getting off?
John Edwards had, 8 counts, and all of them were cleared.
Yeah.
But Jerry Sandusky gets 45 out of 48.
Well, yeah, but that there's a little difference, and getting a little strange, and diddling little children in the shower. There's a little bit of a difference there.
Here's the disturbing part: is plenty of witnesses came out saying, "Oh yeah, I saw him taking him into the shower." All right, where were you?
Yeah.
When all this stuff was going
Well,
on?
I had to go see my boss and tell my boss that he was in the shower. I don't know what else to do. I have no power to stop a man, molesting a little boy. I gotta talk to my boss.
Don't even get me started on Joe Paterno.
I gotta talk to my boss.
Oh yeah.
Legendary college football coach and child rapist enabler, Joe Paterno.
If any of you have not catch Matt Connerton's Unleashed talking about Joe Paterno, I highly recommend going back and listening to the podcast because he did a great job with that.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
Let me give you a hint of what I said. I hope Joe Paterno's in hell.
Well, he's one of those people.
I still say Leonard Nimoy had something to do with his death,
You think so?
just so he can play him in the biography.
That's probably what's going to
You
happen.
might be onto something.
But
there.
do you think so? Sandusky, you know, he's going. Was he going to get a life? He's going to get.
Oh yeah,
he's
never
going
dead.
to die in
get
prison.
Oh,
He's going to die in
definitely,
prison.
Yeah, definitely.
But
Beaten
how
with
many
several bars
times?
of
How many
soap
times do you think he's going to be raped
in the shower?
in the shower? How many times do you think
Not
that's going to
enough.
happen? You know,
Yeah.
because he's
Not
going to
enough.
get justice. See, that's one of those cases where this is an eye for an eye justice, where he's actually going to get what he did.
right.
And those prisoners who've been secluded as to all of this information about the trial and everything
Mhm.
about Jerry Sandusky, the guards are going to start handing out, you know, the
Oh,
newspaper
sure.
that
Oh,
says,
yeah.
"Hey, have you read about this guy? Here
Hey.
he is. Here."
Oh,
Well,
he
because
is."
that's, I mean, because Eddie Prison, the minute you say, here's, you know, oh, why is he in here? Oh, he diddled all these children. That's prime fodder.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
And they're, you know, he's either going to die immediately, or he's just going to be just utterly raped.
Matt in the chat room has a point that he says he's probably going to be
Well-
kept for safety in solitary.
But again, you got guards,
yeah,
Yeah.
You got
it's not
guards
gonna
that are,
it's
you
not
know.
going to stay in solitary.
and not to say that guards won't rape him in prison either, because that happens in
Yes.
prisons too. That's been
They
known
carry
to happen.
batons and,
They carry batons, and
off the pooper.
you know, you
Baton
have
and
you have
pooper.
some guards that may be like, oh, hey, Jerry, you know, my little, you know, nephew or my son was diddled by his Cub Scout leader once, by the way, just so you know, buddy. Boom, you know,
Yeah.
that's gonna happen. You know, you're
There's
gonna
a
see
baton
that.
and the pooper. That's
Yeah.
where that expression comes from. You know.
Baton and the Pooper.
Mhm.
You know, I think there's a band out there called Baton and the Pooper. Actually,
Yes.
that's you know,
They do some covers like Jailhouse Rock. And,
yeah, some good
some other
stuff.
things,
They're
yeah.
going to be at the. I think they're going to be over at the Shaskeen there.
Shaskeen.
I'm going to be joining the Jerry Sandusky Experience.
Are you?
So,
That sounds good. But
It's going to be my band.
Mhm.
so he's being kept in his cell for 23 and a half
It's just
hours.
me and
yeah.
23 kids screaming.
That sounds awesome.
Sounds hot.
The Sandusky
Yeah.
choir. You
Ah!
know, like, and you have like it's like that, you know, the rain stick sounds. You got the noise of like a shower, like running. Like, you know, you have like little chimes. You know, so it sounds like rainwater. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can hear that. You know, like just.
Wow.
I actually that sounds like it sounds like an Enya CD or something. It's a bunch of
Yeah.
a bunch of rainwater and it's either Yoko Ono or
Scream at my
Enya.
ass!
Yeah.
Ah!
But no, I was amazed to see that happen. I was like, you know, I'm not amazed, but I was like, wow, this is awesome. You know, our court
Yep.
system is good sometimes. You know, you let some people walk away, and
So-
you know, some people that kill their children, and you
There's the
know, Casey
court
Anthony,
and the jury
you
of the
know.
peers too, because there are plenty of juries that let even the most vile people walk away.
Well, like I just
Casey
mentioned, Casey
Anthony.
Anthony, yeah, Casey Anthony. I mean, O.J. Simpson walked away, but then got arrested
I
for
don't
something
agree.
stupid after, and
Right.
now he's in jail. So
I don't
he's not,
agree
you
with
know.
Casey Anthony, but I understand.
Yeah.
On my way back from New York, I had my friend Sarah, and we picked up her two sons, 10-year-old and an 8-year-old.
Mhm.
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand.
Now, I was kind of hoping that Scott was going to be here live and not, but he is in the chat room. He said he wasn't coming in tonight because this is his porn night. Is that what he was saying was tonight? That was like this
yes,
is
on Facebook he said this is ultimate porn.
ultimate porn night. So my question to him
Oh, excuse
is he going to watch the Octomom porn that's been
Oh,
officially released
gross.
now, where it's not her
Oh.
having sex with anybody? I guess this is from what I hear.
Is it
It's
her delivering
it's
the
her.
8 kids?
It's I guess it's all the foot. I guess it's her just masturbating for like 2 hours.
Oh, God.
It's
So
her just
basically a
diddling
Tuesday.
herself for like.
That's her Tuesday, right?
But it's like, do you think that's gonna sell? Do you think that's gonna help her? You think that's gonna
No.
market it at all? Is it gonna be, you know?
I hope not.
Do you think anybody's gonna run out and buy that pornography? You know?
I
Are they going to
seriously
go
hope
to their
there's a
local
market for this.
store and say, can I get the, you know, and you have to do it like this. You got to go into the porn store and kind of be like, hi there. You don't know me, but I did you get enough of those papers? Did the QC news get through? Do you have any of the Octomom video? You know, it just, you know, New Hampshire has the best porn, but you just, you know, that's the type of, you know, person that goes into those places and says, do you have the Octomom porn? But you have to whisper it, you know, like, you know, did
I'm
you
going
get
to
any,
change my stance on capital punishment.
did you get any new videos in this week, like the Octomom porn?
I'll find an excuse to arrest her and execute her.
Apparently Scott is looking up the Octomom porn right now.
Oh, God.
Because they like, and it's on a major like porno label too. It's on like one of the
Vivid
like,
or-
Wicked or Vivid or Hustler, like one of those, like, one of those, like, major, Playboy wouldn't have touched her, but
Just
it was like,
gross.
but, and it's, yeah, she basically, she finally
That's just-
caved
yeah.
in, and her thing was, this is her
She needs
ruling.
money.
No, her vagina finally.
Well, this is
caved
her
in.
ruling because she's like, she needs money. She's bankrupt. She can't feed the 14 kids that she has or whatever it is. She's losing her house, and she says, okay, I'll finally do porn, but I will not do guys. On porn, I will just sit there and diddle myself for 2 hours because that's what people want to see. And it's like, so she's releasing a sex tape. And I mean, it's not even a
gay
sex tape
porn,
because it's
I'm
not
not
one of
gonna
those.
sit there and
like,
watch a guy jerk off for 2 hours. It's like, come, just do it, finish.
Well, it's like, if she's going to do that, why not just do one of those, like, cam things? You know what I mean? Like, why
Right.
not? Because Amy Fisher now does that. I don't know if you
Oh,
know
really?
that. Amy Fisher, her living now, because she tried doing porn. Like, she did, they released, like, a sex tape of her, which was totally staged. Because if you ever saw any footage of the Amy
I think they
Fisher,
talked about that on Celebrity Rehab, too.
because it was, like, the fact that her sex tape that was leaked was an actual stage sex tape. And I mean, that's the most, if you ever want to hear the creepiest, because I always talk about the toddler and tiara guys being creepy. If you want to hear the creepiest guy, listen to her husband. I don't know if they're still married now, but her husband, he's got a voice like this, and he's all like, rub your pussy, Amy. Oh, that's the way Daddy likes the way you rub your pussy. Show me those luscious tits of yours. If you just watch like 5 minutes, and you don't even have, if you don't even want to see porn, because I know you don't like porn, Matt. You don't like looking, like if you don't even have to see the porn part. Just listen to the audio.
Yeah.
And and she's all like, you like that? Do you like the way I'm rubbing my clit? You got a little girl's clit. That's so beautiful. That's how he sounds.
Wow.
Like that's if you go to YouTube right now and put in Amy Fisher's porn, like you'll hear his
really?
voice like going, rub that clit. Like that's his voice.
Wow.
He's like, that's really hot. That's how I like it, baby. And it's like that's and
Wow.
that's a dead on impersonation. I'm
And
saying though,
scene.
that's his
There you go.
voice. It's so deadpan and like, your
Oh,
little
my
girl's clit is hot, baby. Rub it for daddy. It's like, and she's all like, you like that? You really like that? It's really obnoxious sounding.
Yeah.
And so then she goes from that, like this leaked tape, and she does like a real porno tape supposedly. So that, that fails or whatever because people still can't get over the fact that she shot a woman in the face and she's walking around. She's walking around breathing our air because she got away from that. She did that for a fat Italian dude that she was in love with and obsessed with, and Buttafuoco got away with everything, and he's living his life, and he had a sex tape release.
Yep.
So now what she's doing...
Pants went up. Sales of Buttafuoco pants went up the roof.
Now she's like a camera person. She does like sex camera stuff. She does the webcam. And she's on the webcam now. Now, the thing about the webcam, though, nobody wants to sit there and, like, pay for her webcam shows because you don't have the guy in the background going, rub your clit, beautiful.
You can pay extra
Because
to add your own
he's the
voiceover.
reason people bought her porn because
Right.
it's serious, because it's the comedic value of
Right.
rub that pussy. Your pussy is beautiful. Because it really is. It's the comedic value of listening to this creepy guy just going like, you're so hot. And having her her like annoying voice, like, oh, you like that? I'm in the shower. I'm soaping up my boobs for you.
And she still has that atrocious
that Long Island. Yeah, and he's all like, yeah,
you like
soap up those boobs, Amy. I like those little girl tits you got there.
Now, is he available to do the Octomom masturbation?
Like I would like him. Like if the
you
Octomom
keep touching
tape.
yourself.
If the Octomom tape hired him, and I think he's trying to do porn too, they hired him to be like, come on, Octomom, rub your octo-clit.
Octo-clit.
Like, let me see that octopussy.
There's 8 clits in one. Oh. Scott's wondering who the Octomom is. Get a tabloid. Just read a tabloid.
I mean, you don't know who the Octomom is. Where have you been?
Yeah, just pick up a tabloid.
Come on.
Or go into Google and do Octomom.
I mean,
she's
come
this
on.
ugly fucking bitch who tries to have Angelina Jolie's lips and fails miserably. She's like,
rub those lips, Octomom.
She's like if Janine Garofalo got Angelina Jolie's lips. That's what she looks like to me.
Oh, you could hear it, like you watch you listen to the Amy Fisher stuff. And it's like suck my cock like a, it is. It's like you listen to the guy.
Oh, yeah. He joined her on Celebrity Rehab at one of the family events.
Yeah.
He showed up. And
Oh, really?
He was just a dirtbag.
Oh, he is. He's a scumbag.
She loves dirtbags.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just as much of a scumbag, and I think he's the one that pushed her into like the porn industry because I think
He's
that
the
was
one
his
that pulled the
fantasy.
trigger on Mary Jo.
Yeah, he was the one.
Face.
He was the one that sold her the bullets. He was.
Yeah.
He was probably the guy that like, ran the gun shop that she bought. But I mean, to me though, that's like Joey just walks away. You know, it's like and she forgave Joey, and it was like and they were trying to like match the two of them up. There was going to be a sex tape of Amy Fisher and Joey Buttafuoco, and it was like, who's going to buy that? You know,
Right.
who wants to see Joey Buttafuoco? Like, and then you think, yeah, you want to see that.
I want to see that one. Yeah,
You want to see
I want to see that. Like 80s reunions porn. I want to see that.
Like,
He's
I would have.
funny.
What's that?
I was gonna say he tried to be an actor
Yeah.
yeah.
at one point.
Oh, yeah.
I would see, if Gary Coleman were still alive, I'd like to see him and Mr. Drummond get back together and do a porn.
Or him and Dana Plato if she was
Yeah.
still alive.
No, Dana Plato
she's
now.
dead, right?
She is, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Him and their-
actually, let's get up Gary Coleman's corpse and Dana Plato's corpse.
And have
And
Todd
just-
Bridges just fuck him?
Yeah.
Is that what you want? Is that the
This
video
is,
you
Wow.
this is the reunion.
That's pretty dark,
You
man.
don't usually you don't usually go that dark.
He's going dark. That's usually me.
Wow.
I'm usually the one that gets dark.
Yeah.
Wow, Chris is
Holy
getting
shit.
dark.
Dude.
Oh, he's been hanging out too much
Wow.
over here. He's been
And-
doing the show
you'll
too
have-
long.
You'll have Corey Haim's corpse in the background holding the
Oh,
camera.
we could have the two Corys. Wait a minute. No, you could have Corey and his wife having a threesome with dead Corey. There you go. It could be like the two Corys.
See, coming at it from you, that sounds natural.
That sounds
but you saying that shit's kind of
Right?
weird.
It's like-
What's wrong
That's
with
what's
you? You all right?
No, you know what that reminds. No, Matt's comment reminds me of something. It reminds me of bringing back the Cormier days, like because I've talked about this before, where I've worked jobs with Paul Cormier, DJ Paul from Retro Spectrum Radio from back in the day.
People still download his shit.
Yeah, well, I think he does. I think he's trying to get it back in the ratings, so he'll call him up and be like,
Probably. I wonder-
Paul, I apologize for anything I've ever said to you. Can you get back on IPM Nation? That's what you need to do.
Yeah.
But he was the type of person that we would be sitting in an office, and if there was women that worked in the office, he'd be like, you know what, it's too bad she's a dumb bitch, she's got beautiful tits. And he would say that out loud, and he would be like, I bet you her meat curtains are pretty nice looking. Like, he would be saying these really frank things.
Oh,
So the
Wow.
girls would hear this, so they would go and be very like, well, I'm very offended by that. I'm going to file sexual harassment charges.
Yeah, go figure.
Yeah, go figure. But then, like, if I would make a comment similar to that, they would always be like, well, it's coming from you. It's
Yeah.
okay. It's all right. It's acceptable.
They'd be like,
If you tell me I have nice tits,
Yeah.
thank you.
Right.
Thank you. That's a compliment.
Well, you're not creepy.
There are a
But it's
couple at
like-
work that I call sugar tits, and they're like, "Thank
Yeah,
you, Chris."
but it's like, so I mean, it's like no, that's a double standard though. It shouldn't be right for like me to say, hey, you have nice tits, and them not to file charges because that's still sexual harassment.
Yeah.
If Paul Cormier said it, but Paul Cormier was a creepy guy, I
Right.
can understand that though, and it's
you
not.
could ask
but-
to borrow your pen, and you'd be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I'm calling HR."
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
but it's like, but I'm just saying that kind of reminded me of that, where you're talking really dark, like porn. It's like, well, it's okay for Dan to say it.
Right.
It's okay for him to get dark and get all like, you're creeping us out, Chris.
No, it's just,
You're like,
it's just unusual, though. You don't usually talk about
Gary
Yes,
Coleman and
it's
said,
having sex.
he gets, he off the air sometimes. He'll
Yeah.
come up with some really dark stuff.
Yeah.
He just doesn't,
really
you know,
dark. Like,
He gets really dark
the stuff
sometimes.
that are in the bowels of my mind.
He'll say things that he just doesn't reveal on the air. He'll make comments. You just, he comes out sometimes.
Yeah.
And it used to be better when he was drinking. When
Yeah,
he was
that's true.
drunk, he'd get some really good gems.
I bet.
Yeah,
Because he'd be
I mean, no filter, no
Yeah.
filter
when
whatsoever.
we were at the game the other night, some people were saying,
sorry,
we
me
miss
laughing-
drunk Chris. No, we were like,
Me laughing at an 8-year-old girl who just got whacked in the head
That's
with
still
a
pretty
ball
dark,
was,
yeah,
was pretty dark.
that's still pretty dark. I'm still blaming
And the
the
fact
girl.
that I laughed even harder when people were like, "Christopher."
Right, right.
Just,
That's the 11-year-old.
Yeah, but what about you? You brought me over to your desk the other day for the Guess Who Iranian edition or whatever it was, and you and I are the only ones really laughing at that. It was like,
I don't know what it is, but it sounds
it's
funny.
the game Guess Who that
Yeah.
we used to play. It's those tiles that
Yeah.
you knock. The Iranian version, all the women are wearing,
Oh.
and they're the same thing. So it's,
That is funny.
somebody posted,
Yeah.
somebody drew up a picture of Guess Who Iranian version. The kid of my friend James who posted it, I posted back and I'm like, I'm sitting here laughing like an idiot at work
Yeah.
right now. Just,
Everybody's
That-
looking at him
that
like
is-
he's smoking crack, and
that
it's
is
like I come
funny.
over and I laugh at it too, and it's
Yeah.
all like, but everybody else would be offended by that.
it's
It's
like
like,
you could never win the game. Because,
Right.
oh god.
is it Ali Akbar? No, I lost. Oh no. But it was just, no, I just thought that was funny though. It's like Christopher, talking like that,
Christopher, yeah. When people
Digging
start
up
using
corpses and
Christopher, I
having
know I'm in
sex.
trouble.
having sex with dead corpses. That is dark. We've lost our audience.
Oh, and our ambiguously gay duo out there is now talking about tits.
They're
just
talking
to
about tits.
compensate.
Yeah, they're trying to cover up. We like a good pair of tits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
We do. We like a
ambiguously
good
gay
set of.
duo.
They're like touching. Was it
Sandbags.
Sandbags? Yeah, the
bags
40-year-old
full of
version.
sand. Wrap up duo. Wrap up soon. Just because you and I think the
Busy
three of us
weekends.
have all had a long weekend.
Had the company outing Friday. Had a busy.
Even
weekend.
Chris, yeah, I like tits. I will admit that. I'm a boob guy. I will motorboat the hell out of a woman. But that's about the extent of it.
Isn't that true for a lot of gay dudes?
Oh, yeah.
though? You know, you don't want to go near the vagina, but the tits are
Yeah.
all right.
We stay everything above
Yeah.
the waist. Like boxing, it's above the waist.
Is that why some gay guys will actually get breast implants?
Oh yeah, they have breast envy.
Is that what it is? Like, because
Yeah.
someone will
Yeah,
get the
I've heard
breast
about that,
implants.
right? Are you gonna get implants?
No, no, these are natural.
Oh, good.
I like my A- cups.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're a little flat.
Like,
No
what
offense.
about I wonder what the bisexual community does. Do they have a tit
I
fascination?
don't believe the bisexual community exists,
Yeah,
but hey, if you have to ask an expert,
I was wondering. I wish we knew a bisexual we could ask, because I really would like to know if a bisexual male or would actually like tits, or is that bisexual male more of an ass person? Because if you ask a bisexual, are you an ass person? Well, isn't a gay man an ass person anyway? So isn't that like kind of the
Oh,
is that the
that's true,
political
yes.
answer? If you say, well, I'm bisexual and I'm an ass man, like, aren't you pretty much admitting it right
Yeah.
then and there? I mean, there you go.
you can stick it in the rear.
I think that's but I think he's napping in there. I think he's asleep.
Now we're up to penis on. Okay.
So that's how you can say penis.
Scott's going
without
back
getting
and forth in the chat room as to which side he's leaning to
it's-
tonight.
it's-
This duo, by the way, is dangerous. The two of them talking together.
Really?
well,
Matt
maybe
in
they
the
should
chat
have their
room,
own show.
Scott.
I'm telling you, there you go. They could, with all this technology.
We need to set Matt up with an IPM Nation email address. It'd be Matt in the chat room at IPMNation.com.
That's a good idea.
for everybody else to just send him emails. And we have two guests now in the. Well, we've had one before, right? Now we have two guests listening. So we have,
And they tune in at 10:57.
it's like,
Come
well,
on.
they can't be ending the show now, are they?
Well, they could always catch the replay.
Because we could be
Was,
talking about,
Was Amsterdam in the chat room
We
earlier?
weren't in the chat room tonight. No.
Did they have a show tonight? Did
They did.
Peter White have a show?
At one point, it cut out for about 5 minutes too, and I thought they started playing the Sunday night, and then it stopped.
Yeah.
And then I went back about 5 or 10 minutes later, and they were back up, webcam and everything.
Did any major events happen at all this week? Any major things happen?
Sandusky 45 out of 48.
I mean, that was major.
Uke got traded. I know my one sports thing tonight is
Euclid got traded?
Kevin Euclid got
Why
traded
would
to
you
the White
trade
Sox.
Euclid?
I have no idea.
He's been since
He's the best of the best. It's Glenn R.J.
Glenn
Roulette.
R.J. Olet.
That's
Glad
what
I-
koala bears eat, right? Euclid?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, but I mean, Euclid was one of those people I think that came right up through the farm system. Like he was like he's one of those people that
Yeah, he's been with us for a long time.
He was in he was on the Sea Dogs. He was on the
He's a farmer?
yeah, he
Yep.
was a farmer. But I mean, that's just to me. I mean, I haven't been following the Red Sox in a while. Like I kind of
No, this season, no, since Francona left.
you didn't tell me this major story. Alec Trebek suffered a heart attack.
I didn't know that it happened.
Only 71 years old.
CNN. No, that doesn't matter. I mean, he's one of those people that he never ages. He never
So, I'm sorry,
ages.
this Jeopardy host suffered a heart attack. Who is Alex Trebek?
Yes, there you go.
Scott, I'll stop teasing him for a second just so I can advertise for him that the Siren Agency is doing a podcast now, and that should be
They are
available
officially.
soon.
Oh, and you know who else is going to be doing a show for us? Is Corey J. Turner.
Corey J. Turner.
That's good news.
I love the mediocre comedian.
Yes.
Mediocre
Remember, he's not just
mediocre
good.
comedian.
He's good enough.
He's
Yep.
good enough. Hey, that's good.
Our friend Ryan Michael performed at the new Varix. What is it called?
What is that place? It's
Oh.
the
Studio
the
24?
Studio 24 or something like that.
I think so.
Where is that? Where was that?
It's where Varick's was, behind Johnny Bad's.
I don't even know where you're talking
Varick's.
about. What the hell was Varick's?
Varick's was a sports bar that was it's a little hole-in-the-wall sports bar that's right across the street from the Verizon Wireless, where I think it was called Johnny Bad's was on the corner. Is that what it's called, Johnny's?
That place there that used to be a pool hall many years ago? That
Just
place?
behind it, in the alley behind it.
Really?
Where the new Murphy's Diner is, it's one of the buildings behind it.
Near Drink?
In that area. Actually, I think it's just past Drink. I think it's the next street over.
Huh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's like it's called
Literally a hole in the wall. Like
because I know they had a Mansterdam night there on Friday night.
They did.
And he had a stand up back and he did a stand up routine in the Shiskeen like before that. He did kind of his warm up show. And I heard he got like good reviews for his stand up routine. I haven't caught the full I watched a few minutes of it that they've posted on the Facebook
The Facebook.
where he's talking about going to rehab, and he has a lot of that type of humor on there, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
But then for some reason my system crashed and I couldn't finish watching it. I'm having a lot of crashing issues, and it's really strange because I don't know why.
Do you have an antivirus on there?
Oh yeah, I got one of the best like Norton, like
Norton.
the 360 or whatever it is, and it's just weird.
Weird.
I get all these weird messages, and it's like ever since I got Comcast, and Comcast, I had them put the Comcast thing on my computer. Like I don't know if like I didn't upload the Comcast antivirus because I had my own, but it's ever since the Comcast has been on my computer, I've had a lot of crashing. Like I don't know what it is, but it's just ever since that was on here, there's a lot of crashing going on my computer, and that's been annoying. Like it just annoys me because my computer like I haven't logged back in.
It's a new computer too.
Yeah, I got this Christmas.
Yep.
And it's just like it crashes in the Explorer, and it's like and I'm still old school. I'm still using Internet Explorer when I should be using like Chrome and another like,
Yeah, I'm still on
but
Internet Explorer too.
I just I should just start using Chrome, but I don't know what it is, and I want to blame Comcast because I feel the need to just blame Comcast for everything, anything that goes wrong in life.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm just influenced by people we work with.
I blame
but
Comcast.
I
for
just
being
want to blame
broke.
Comcast for everything, no matter what it is. It's their fault. And knowing that they now keep saying, oh, well, your internet sucks because we have better internet now. Come on. Oh, you signed up for this internet. And it's just the fact that I don't know. I'm blaming them for that, and I can't sue Comcast, right? Can't sue them. Can't do anything. Can't go to a different cable company. I can we can go to Dish, but you can't get internet with a Dish. So I don't know.
Interesting. Comcast blows.
So
They're rapists.
They're rapists.
They are.
Whoa, I didn't know that. Oh my
They are.
goodness. I have Comcast.
You have
They rape a
Comcast.
lot of their customers.
I don't want to get raped.
But
I
I'd
don't
like
want
to.
a baton
I'd like to know
or
who
anything.
makes the decisions, though.
It's on the blooper.
Is it all like corruption in each one of these cities and towns that we're only allowed to have one cable company when we have all these anti-monopoly laws? Like, is it really
I don't know.
like
There are other options, but they're not as
other options for what?
prominent.
Cable companies?
Well,
Well, yeah.
is it because they offer Dish? They can offer a
No, but that's
as
not
a
that
competition.
doesn't that's not that's still against the monopoly laws, though.
What about Fi? So Fios is not available in our area then.
No, FiOS. For some reason, this is the other thing that confuses me is
Is it because they sold their shares to Fairpoint? But
Well,
Fairpoint
Fairpoint
doesn't make
runs-
sense because they partner with DirecTV. That's what they use for their cable.
Fairpoint supposedly is going to run fiber optics, but they haven't like done all the work, and I don't know. Is the city of Manchester stopping them from doing it? Is there some? That's why I'm wondering if there's a little corruption going on there. And I would like Glenn R.J. Olette to do some
I was
investigative.
going to say, Glenn might know. He's
you
got
know.
his finger on the pulse of
if he would
Manchester.
know if this city is corrupt enough.
Did he
that
come
they're-
back? Or
Did
is
he
He
come
did.
back?
He did. I think
Did
he
he?
came back.
Glenn? Glenjamin? Okay.
Glenn, do you know anything about any corruption going on? About why the whole
What?
about fiber optics and things like that? Why Manchester hasn't had any upgrades with fiber optic cables and things like that? Is there any corruption going on with that?
We were the first city north of Boston to have it done. It's pretty much new.
But why don't we have the option of having like a FiOS or having anything other than
Oh.
Comcast cable? Is what I'm
I
saying.
don't believe that. Oh, that's because Verizon sold its.
Well, they sold the shares to
New Hampshire
Fairpoint.
in Vermont.
Yeah.
I don't think that. I think it's quite
Like,
possible
Fairpoint
as well
has
that
nothing to
Verizon isn't big enough yet to make it up to this area.
But somebody told me that Bedford had the files.
Huh.
Well, is Bedford using Verizon? Because from what I understood, when
Bedford
Fairpoint
If
took
it's
over,
cell phone, you can use Verizon. If it's landline, that's what they sold. They sold their landline.
but from what I understand though, when Fairpoint took over here, that eliminated even having that FiOS. Like I thought Fairpoint was supposed to have their own variation of the TV. Like they were supposed to
They do have cable, but they don't have files. They don't. Only Verizon, I'm told, has files.
only
Nobody else has it.
Well, it's that's the name of their product. is
that's the name of their product. Yeah,
Oh.
it's their FiOS product. But they're supposed to I thought Fairpoint was going to come in and offer like alternative to Comcast. I thought they were going to compete with Comcast.
Fairpoint is barely making it. We
But
all know that.
but it's like it didn't make any sense to me why. But I don't understand why cities and towns can get away with just having this one.
It's because the companies aren't coming out to offer that.
That's right.
Is what I would assume.
This part of the country is not big enough for that.
But
And Verizon left because places like Manchester wouldn't give them what they wanted. They
Mhm.
wanted lots of money to
Yeah.
upgrade, and they wanted us to do exactly what Comcast did, and we already have them.
Mhm.
Pick up the streets all over again and put some more fiber.
yeah,
Share it, people.
I see.
There's more
What?
ambiguity going on in the chat room.
Hmm.
It's quite. Anybody who is not logged into the chat room during our live shows, you definitely have to go in. You just to watch.
It's a lot of just weird taking off
You're
your
not-
pants.
yeah.
Like, your whole, like,
If you're not familiar with it, you can see the chat room on the side where it says videos. There's a tab for social stream, and then there's a space for chat. Even if you don't log into the chat room or create a username, just to look what's going on in there. I would like to wrap up only because I've been driving for about 7 hours
you've had a
today.
long-
Yeah, we hit so much fucking traffic.
So
Every
much
state
traffic.
there was so much fucking traffic. Even
But New York was fun.
New York was fun, yeah. Everett Turnpike coming down south. This is the one time I was really happy was when I was coming back home and I was on the Everett Turnpike and coming down south. There was traffic for about 3 miles, just around where they put the new outlet stores, the new premium outlets.
The new outlets in Merrimack, phenomenal.
Are they?
You could get lost there, and I mean, you name a store, they have it.
Yeah, I've been to the website to check out all the new stores. So that's cool.
I mean, but it's huge. It's like it's a giant like. To get in the place, it's like you have to go like 18 miles to get into the parking lot alone.
Yeah.
But it's like, but it's a really well. And I was joking because my nephew Sam, he works for Dairy Queen. He's like one of the management staff at the Dairy Queen up in where he lives. At the outlet store they have a food court, and you have like the ghetto foods, but they had a Dairy Queen. So I was kind of picking on him today, going, "Is this an outlet Dairy Queen? Is that where they have like last year's blizzards that didn't sell, or like the cakes that say happy anniversary and they're misspelled?
Yeah.
They ship them all. Is this like second hand?
Happy
Like,
anniversary.
like I wanted to go in and get like the pumpkin pie blizzard because they still have like October's blizzards, November. It's like, do you guys just serve like the old stuff? Is this all like the, that's because it didn't make sense to me to have a Dairy Queen at the outlet mall.
Yeah.
It's like how, and there were some stores that when I went into that outlet mall that was kind of like, are these really outlet store stuff though? This didn't really seem like outlet pricing. It seemed like, I was kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, wait a minute here. But no, it's a nice, nice place. Huge.
All right.
It's nice, but I mean,
check it
traffic's
out.
outrageous. They had to have like probably 8 or 9 off-duty cops getting people in and out of the parking lot of that.
Really?
Oh yeah, it's just a matter because they just opened. Was it last weekend or last week?
The 18th, 14th through the 18th. I thought. So yeah, there's
Like they
today's the 24th, and it was last
yeah,
weekend.
yeah. And it's just, but the place is just hectic place. But it was really neat.
Oh yeah, when we did Providence last week, we left Manchester about 8 a.m. after picking everybody up, and by 8:30 we were just passing by it on the. We could see exit 10. You could see they had school buses of people going in there. Okay, that's just.
But it's always funny
it's getting really weird in the chat.
It's always funny here. I don't know if it's true with every single state, but it's like every time a shopping mall opens, though, it's like for weeks upon weeks, the place is just jam packed. And one thing I noticed when I went to the Merrimack one, though, in the Merrimack Outlet Mall, I felt like a minority.
Yeah.
And almost because I was from New Hampshire, like that was New Hampshire.
Yeah.
The other thing was I was one of the few English-speaking people, like, and I'm not saying it was like Hispanic. It was like I think there's a lot of people on vacation right now, so there's just a lot of people from different foreign countries coming around and stuff. But it was just like a lot of Massachusetts cars at that outlet mall, and it was like a lot of people coming up tax-free outlet.
These are the same people who are going up to Tilton or to Kittery.
But I mean, if you ever been to that Tilton or the Tilton outlet mall, which it's small in comparison to this Merrimack.
Okay.
I mean, this Merrimack Mall is just like it's nonstop.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying. I mean, it's like Tilton's good for that area up there. For people that were going out of their way to go to Tilton, are no longer going to go to Tilton.
Right.
They're going to go to this Merrimack Mall, and it was just.
It's their new stop, their new destination.
But it was just if the economy is so bad, there was a lot of people spending a lot of money. Is what I'm saying.
This could boost the economy.
It's like, and it always surprises me because if we're in this recession right now, why are these like grand? And there's no big sales going on at this outlet mall. Really, it wasn't like a huge sale. Why, if we're in a recession, do you get stuck in like 3-hour traffic getting in and out of an outlet mall, getting in and out of these shopping malls?
By the word outlet.
Every time there's a new place, like when Market Basket opened over here, how busy was that fucking place?
Yeah.
So obviously
we crave that new.
Like we're shoppers.
Yep.
We have like the American gene in us. They're all like, oh, a new shopping place is open. We need to go shopping.
Plus, we're in the part of we're in a state that is doing much better economically than most of the country.
Yeah, and we're tax free too. So yeah,
national average.
Oh, okay.
So, anyway,
since they're not a sponsor, let's stop talking about them until we get money from the Merrimack Premium Outlets.
There could be an IPM Nation store.
Ooh, right here.
Imagine that. We could be broadcasting live from there. IPM Nation studio.
Even give us $100. We'll do an entire episode about you.
Hell yeah.
Yep. All right. Well,
maybe even just a handy.
Yeah. Yeah. Then I would devote like 10 minutes for just a handy.
5 minutes.
Yeah. We're never gonna end this show ever.
End it.
To the end. So thank you all for tuning in tonight. We hope you enjoyed our verbal ejaculation for tonight, June 24, 2012. As always, you can catch the replay at ipmnation.com/VE or QCEnews.com. As shortly after the show is done, we'll go ahead and save it on Ustream. And then you can get the podcast as soon as Matt does his magic and uploads the podcast to ipmnation.com/VE.
Indeed.
You can contact us during the week at ve@ipmnation.com. And join us on Facebook, Verbal Ejac. Anything good coming up for IPM Nation?
He mentioned the new shows. He mentioned that.
I did,
Yep.
Yes.
Shadow of the Night still number one show. Shadows of the Night.
We're still running with the Shadows of the Night.
Running with the Shadows of the Night. And that's in that movie too, that song.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
It's a great song.
We've got
where's
our
VE
good friend
at?
who's standing in the corner, Mr. Glenn R.J.
No, not yet.
Mr. Glenn R.J. Roulette, host of Roulette at Large Gone Global on QCEnews.com and IPMNation.com, Fridays at 8 p.m. Eastern. We are at our 8-month anniversary last week for Roulette at Large Gone Global, and we've got more programming coming up.
You got a big guest for his Friday night show coming up? You got a big guest?
And don't forget to go to QCEnews.com throughout the week and see the new material that he has on the online paper edition.
Who?
Pete Sanders?
Pete Sanders? Who's Pete Sanders?
He's in Massachusetts right now.
Okay. Who's the Manchester Sanders?
Is that a sports team, the Manchester Sanders?
It sounds like it's not a. It's like they go around and they sand things.
So it's a union.
It's a union.
The actor?
The actor?
Colonel. It's Colonel Sanders.
What actor's name's Sanders?
I thought he was dead, Colonel Sanders.
Is he talking about Adam Sanders?
Is
that who he's going to have on here?
Sandler.
Adam Sanders?
Sandler.
Oh, there he goes. You got
So we're going to have Adam Sandler.
Adam
That's a
Sandler's going to be
folks.
here?
We're going to have the Adam Sandler.
Possibility.
He's in
Possibility.
the area.
He's
so-
in the area. Is he filming in the area?
His mother lives in Bedford.
Yeah.
Actually, the North End.
So
He moved his mother to
so
Florida, though. Why is she back in the
The
North End?
ambiguously gay duo is still
Well, it's summer.
jockey in the chat room.
So they summering in the North End? Is that what it is?
Matt Carrington Unleashed, Wednesday nights, 8 p.m., IPMNation.com and QCNews.com for the televised edition. The radio edition is available Saturdays,
Yep, this coming Saturday it's going to be at 10 a.m.
10
10
a.m.
Radio
a.m.
edition.
That's too early.
And that's just available at
You
IPMNation.com.
can wake up with me
Wow.
Saturday
Yep.
morning.
Why don't you call it something different on Saturday morning?
Why
You're
don't I
waking
call
up.
Well,
it,
he
I should
does-
call it Wake Up with Matt.
This
Wake
one
up
has
with Matt.
this one does 2 editions of Roulette at Large Gone Global now.
Yeah,
One
well, that
on
confuses
Thursdays
me.
at
That
4
confuses
p.m.
me because I don't know which one's the right show to listen to because it's
The TV 23.
because they're both global now. I don't know which one's which because I don't know.
But one has a brick wall.
I really don't know.
TV23, speaking of TV23 at IPMNation.com, don't forget to catch Amsterdam, Wednesdays at 11 p.m. Eastern, available if you're in the Manchester area, TV23. And what else we got? Sundays, Peter White Show, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Then us again. Then we
And
start.
we'll probably next week we'll have a report on if there was a atrociously bad opening act because we'll be at
Yes.
Collective Soul next
Oh.
Saturday night.
Yes,
so
that's
hopefully
right.
Leaving Eating. Oh, and Leaving Eating. Who was that? Did I mention to you? Who
I think you
saw
did.
Where Leaving Eating is going to be though?
Yes.
We should have went to see them. They were at the dairy field. We missed them. So they
They weren't performing, they were just drinking.
They
in the
were just
patio.
drinking.
Yeah.
They were actually the ones they were cooking. So if we have an atrociously bad opening act, we will be venting on next week's verbal ejaculation. We'll be picking on
And
that.
our ambiguously gay duo is now friending each other on Facebook.
Are
Oh,
they?
shit.
Oh wow.
So to Matt in the chat room and Scott Perry, thank you boys for watching. We look forward to hearing the Siren Agency podcast.
Yes.
And don't forget to catch us next week. IPMNation.com/VE QCE News. We'll be back at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Do we have anything planned for 4th of July? No? Okay. That's
4th of July? Well, I'll be doing Matt Connerton Unleashed on the 4th of July.
That's right.
A
Wednesday.
special 4th of
That's right.
July episode. Right?
Yes, and we're doing a concert and fireworks on the 3rd.
Oh.
Concert and fireworks at the 3rd. So stay tuned for that. QCNews.com.
Well, don't stay tuned
I have
for it.
to.
That's not
Yes.
Yeah, stay on the line.
Stay right here.
Keep watching.
Do not
We're gonna have
leave your
fireworks
house.
at the concert right now.
Shasteen on this Saturday.
And the Shas game this Saturday. That's right.
Wow.
I have to piss like a racehorse, so
That's it.
that's it. So thank you all very much. We'll catch you next week, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. In the
Thank you.
meantime, check out all the stuff that's available on IPMNation.com, and we will see you later.